social conversations, engaging topics on your phone anywhere. This is Home Run with Pipi.
Ladies and gentlemen, Home Run with Pipi is a show that comes to you every 4 to 9 p.m. East African time. And part of my audience are Kenyans living abroad. And today, on the journey series of Home Run with Pipi, I'm seated with one such Kenyan, Bwana Dennis, who is going to tell us about his story of moving abroad. And he just told me that he moved abroad 4 years ago. And I can tell you, it is not the same. Karibu sana kwa show.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite exciting.
Tuambie jina.
All right, good. My name is Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis Otieno.
Uh-huh.
My age mates call me Deno.
Deno.
And my grandmother used to call me Adeni. So
Hey.
Adeni is basically the short word for Dennis.
Adeni.
But in Luo, yeah. So
Oh.
that's how you can call me if you want.
Nice. So, Dennis, where do you stay?
At the moment,
Yeah.
where I stay within the country? Or
No, let's
because-
start from where you come.
Right now, of course, we are in Katani. This
Yeah.
is called Katani Villas.
Outside
But outside the country, I stay in Manchester.
Manchester.
Actually, Preston, which is just in the outskirts of Manchester.
you know the team called Preston North End.
That's my team. It's the what do you call it?
The home team.
The home team. That's my village team. Actually, we can call it
Oh.
my village team because it's probably 10 minutes walk
Mhm.
by foot to the stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Preston and Manchester United.
That's fascinating. But actually,
Yeah.
I always tell people that if you come to the UK, you
Mhm.
see our fascination in Africa with Arsenal, Manchester. It's a bit different when you go to England because people tend to have a lot more connection with the local teams. So you find people really fascinated by or with Preston North End, Blackburn Rovers, Stoke Cities. Because again, these are people you meet in the supermarket. These are the village
players.
people. It's players, yeah, exactly.
Some of them,
So we
I
are
had
more
some of them
connected.
even work some of them work in in supermarkets.
Exactly.
Some
yeah.
videographers
Yeah,
in
very
Iceland.
ordinary people actually. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I would be so sad when I'd be crying when I see Rashford. I'm like so emotional.
yeah. So Preston North End is my local team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Although sometimes I'm a bit split when they're playing against Blackburn Rovers or Burnley because I've got a connection.
So
as well.
they're like in your neighborhood, all those teams, Burnley, Preston, and Blackburn.
Yes. In my small neighborhood, the closest is Preston North End.
Mhm.
That's within my city. Then some minutes away, there's Blackburn Rovers.
Nice.
Then there's Blackpool.
Mhm.
We have got Bolton Wanderers.
Wow.
On the other side.
All that football.
All that football. That's what I get.
You know, in the
I get a
US
lot
they
of
call
live
it
football.
soccer. Hey.
Yeah, we call it football. Soccer is something else. It's a foot and a ball. So I prefer calling it football. That's it.
Okay. So UK, 4 years.
Yeah.
What was happening before? Just take us
No,
way back.
I've done a lot.
Where did you grow up? Tell us that.
Oh, interesting. And I always take an opportunity to mention this in every place I speak. I was born in West Pokot.
What?
Yeah, I was born in West Pokot.
What
so-
okay.
No.
I thought Kisumu, Homa Bay.
No. Actually, it's a long story, but I was born in West Pokot in a place called Ortum.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ortum.
Ortum.
I have to Google that.
You'll Google Ortum, yeah. So I was born in a family of four, so I have got other siblings. They were all born in West Pokot as well. My father was a teacher.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know how you got to
Exactly,
West Pokot.
Exactly. My father was a teacher and he was posted to West Pokot in 1982.
Uh-huh.
He worked there until he retired in around 2017.
What was he teaching?
A mathematics teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah.
No, I'm a maths guy.
Are you a maths guy or a maths teacher? Those are two different
No,
things.
come on. Maths. Potato.
Potato.
Yeah, so a teacher of math
Yeah.
with 4 kids
With 4
in
kids
West Pokot
in West Pokot, yeah.
in the 80s.
In the 80s.
How did you survive? Because it's a bandit-prone area, as they call it.
Actually, I've come to have a real connection with West Pokot than I have in any other community.
Wow.
It's a lot of negative coverage, really, if you look at West Pokot, because people who come from there are very kind people. The kindest people you'll ever see are the Pokot people.
So
Honestly.
it's a bias.
I think it's a bias, or maybe I'm biased, but some of the closest friends, some of the best connection I have here, some of the best politicians I speak to, Long Nyangapos and others, these people are so fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew in that area. They have little,
Mhm.
but they're very happy people, and they're very welcoming people.
Nice.
So you can imagine I was born there, and then I grew up all my life there.
So you're
until
more of a Lokodi than an Otieno.
Exactly. I'm
Favorite
I'm
food?
a Poriot.
Favorite food?
My favorite food now or then?
Then.
No, we used to eat almost everything. There's something called angart.
Angart. What is
Angart
angart?
is maize, roast maize. You can see nowadays. I love.
I see it on your posting.
In my
You're
socials,
already with
yeah.
angart over there. You're
Yeah,
making
so
maize. Yeah.
Angart was our
It was the
favorite
food then.
Yeah, but then again, we used to eat also something called ruko.
Mhm.
Ruko is the ugali that are slept over the night.
No.
So that becomes your breakfast because again, there's so little in the community to consume. So we used to really work with the bare minimum. Sometimes during the day we'll hunt the rats and we cook them.
What?
Yeah, the
Rats?
bushes. Yeah, rats. So I'm very good at hunting rats to
What,
make the balls.
What size rats are we talking about here? Because now I'm getting confused.
Why?
What size of rats?
They're small, any size. If we're lucky, we get a big one. If we're not, we get a
Rat
small
as in panya.
Panya, yeah. The panya. We could hunt panya and we could roast them.
Okay.
The birds
That
with
is
the fandili.
interesting.
That's really what our life was then.
But that was so basically you grew up in the village, or
I grew
what
up-
happened after you got born in West Pokot? How long did you stay in West Pokot?
Yeah, so just to take you back, we were all born in West Pokot. All my sibling, myself, were
Yeah.
all born in West Pokot. Then
Yeah.
my father used to move from one school to another. Places like Seneto or Tum, Chepareria.
But in the just in
Within
West Pokot.
Yeah, within West Pokot.
So you've studied in various places.
Yeah.
You
So,
were the family was following the dad. Dad had a single space that now you would visit over the weekends.
the family was following my dad, basically.
So basically, you've been to different schools throughout primary.
Yes.
How
Yes.
many?
I can say two, but I at one point my father came and settled in a place called Chepareria.
Chepareria.
So Chepareria.
I'm learning these names on the go.
So Chepareria is where I really
Uh-huh.
came to form a lot of bonds.
Uh-huh.
That's where we grew, and my father got really settled there.
Yeah.
I remember he told me at one point he refused so many promotions because he wanted that stability for the family. We had moved a lot, so he wanted us to be there. So I grew up in Chepareria. I went to school in Chepareria. My father was my mathematics teacher.
Primary
actually.
school name Chepareria Primary.
Chepareria Primary School.
All right.
Yeah, I should visit them actually.
Is it there or is
It's
just
there.
a
It's doing
signpost
very
now?
well, actually.
Ah,
Yeah. And if you go there, you'll probably find my name on the
top student. Mwaka gani?
I was a top student actually.
Mwaka gani? Where was the
I
year?
was a top student between I joined in because I finished school in 2002.
Wow.
So 1994, I think.
I was in school in class. I was in class 2 then.
The class 2 then. I was
In
in.
two-
I did my standard 8 in 2002.
2.
Yes.
Now 202.
Yeah.
You do your class 8.
Yes.
In Chepareria.
Chepareria
Top
Primary.
student.
And not just top student. You'll ask anybody. I dominated the school because I
Yeah.
used to be the best student from year 1
Oh.
up to year 8. And in year 8, I scored 416 out of 500.
Wow.
Then,
Wow.
so when I did out of 500, so 416 out of 500 in West Pokot at that time, and I never studied outside West Pokot, and I was the second best in the district at that time. It was
That
called
was
West
big.
Pokot district.
That was big.
Yeah, the gentleman who became the top student in West Pokot at that time went to French school Kamusinga. And in our 4th form, KCSE, he was the best in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a competition. That was
So
quite a
competition.
competition.
That's a competition, yeah.
And let me ask, just now you've finished, you've never left West Pokot.
Yes.
The top student goes to Friends Kamusinga.
Yeah.
Where does Dennis go?
I went to Maseno.
This
This is how actually I was not supposed.
The Equator School.
The Equator School, Maseno School, not Maseno High School. Maseno School.
They almost killed me on Twitter by saying
Yeah,
Maseno High
It's
School.
not Maseno High School. It's not Maseno Secondary School. It's
Maseno
Maseno
School.
School.
Like the way the Nairobi School.
The Nairobi.
Oh my
School,
God.
or Nairobi School.
You guys kill us with these names.
Yeah. So I was not meant to go to Maseno. I was meant to go to Starehe Boys.
Oh.
Yeah. Then
What happened?
there was some abracadabra with my calling letter.
They
We
played
used to
it-
call them
they played your calling
letters.
letter.
The admission letter. They did some abracadabra in the district education office at that time.
They gave it to someone else.
It stayed there until I had gone to Maseno. So when the letter was coming on later,
Yeah.
from Stare, it was already too late. My father thought, oh, you know what, Maseno is still
Maseno
a
is the
school.
way. Yeah.
So just stay there.
National school.
National school.
What was the experience in Maseno?
Tough. I
Maseno was
don't
tough.
think there is any tougher school to ever be in than Maseno school.
What do you mean?
Maseno school was
It's a national school.
tough. It was tough. We could. It's a national school, but it's a national school for a reason. I don't think people get it easy there as we would imagine.
Yeah.
It's really tough. And there is this saying that if you survive in Maseno school, you can survive anywhere else in the world. And I
Why?
believe it.
Why would someone
believe it.
who studied in a national school say if you survived?
Yeah.
I finished from a district school. That is why you say I survived. But why would you be at national school? Everybody is looking to take their kids to national schools. So what was that tough thing that made you like think surviving Maseno school was it?
There is being in a national school and then there's being in a Maseno school.
So Maseno school was not a national school then?
It was a national school,
And
but
then-
there is another angle of it. First of all, you are taught life skills, a lot of life skills. So we used to have this thing called kadufing. So if you
Kadufing is what now?
kadufing, I think it was an irrigation method used by the ancient
Yeah.
Egyptians, where they could probably get their basket or their containers into a well and then
Pull
you
it
do
up.
like that,
Yes,
pull
yes,
it up
yes.
to bring it. So in Maseno, we never used to have running water.
Oh,
So we used to have kadufing.
this in two or three.
2 or 3 Maseno, I'm
Wow.
telling you. And it was tough. And it was tough. And it was tough. And we used to run everywhere you go in the compound.
It was a running
was
school
mandatory to
on your
run.
toes every time.
You have to run. You have to always be on top.
Hey,
And food, the main food there was beans and ugali. So madondo
every night.
ugali,
Madondo gali. What,
It
did
was
you
the
have
main
skooma
thing.
in it?
There used to be a little bit of skooma, depending
yeah.
on your connections.
Traces.
Depending on your connections.
You have to be deep state.
You have to be deep state. So I was not deep state.
Uh-huh.
I became deep state later, and I'll tell you that story. I became
Yeah.
a deep state later. But yeah, Maseno was a very tough, very, very tough school. We used to wake up at 4:50 a.m. in the morning, something I strongly advocate against now.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And then you could probably go immediately. You wake up at 4:50, you run to your classroom.
Yeah.
You must be settled by 5 a.m. You read
Wow.
up to 8 in the morning, you go for breakfast, you come back. It goes through up to evening. Take a compulsory games time. Compulsory. Then come back.
Compulsory. You have
No
to.
guarantee of water. Yeah, and then
So
you
there
go
is no
there.
issue with you running, but if you run, there is no water to be
You
taken.
must run, you must sweat,
Yeah.
but there's no guarantee you'll get water to shower.
In the well.
In the
There was a well,
in the
or how
kadoof-
did you get your
in
water? The kadoof thing.
The kadoofing.
So it was not like you were going to. It was like there was a river that you used to go to.
No.
In my fourth form, I used to go to the river, like to shower. But what I'm getting from viewers is it's like there was a tank, but
Yeah.
you have to fight for your life.
We used to fight.
In a
literally.
boys' school, you get a jug of water. That's a lot of water.
A lot of water. Yeah. So we used to have this thing. I know you may probably have heard of it. Passport.
Passport.
You do passport, and then the prefect will come and try to look at your collar. If it's dirty, then you get into trouble. So it was a very tough transition for me.
The cleanest always is the dirtiest. You know that, right?
Always.
The one with the cleanest collar has
It's
not
always-
showered.
and that's why people used to steal our shirts.
Oh,
they used to steal
for
shirts.
once, yeah.
For once, yeah, because you are expected to have clean shirt when you go to school.
Was there
So-
bowling there?
Probably there was a little bit of bullying. But
you
not so
you go to
intense.
school with a big body, or you are a bit
I was
small
a very
body?
tiny guy. I'll show you the photos one time, but I was a very tiny gentleman coming from West Pokot. I think, and I've told people, one of my biggest shockers
Yeah.
when I went to Maseno school was seeing people in my class with spectacles.
What?
What were me one?
What did you think? What
I used to think these people are the geniuses of the world.
they are? I thought so until I
No, they're
met
not.
them.
until we sat for the first exam, and I said, okay, all right. So I've beaten people with the miwani.
So in West Pokot, anybody with spectacles was held with on a higher regard.
I actually never saw too many of them, at least at that time, and the places where I was. So I don't know how people were dealing with sight issues.
Yeah.
then. But for me, I had not traveled a lot, so I saw people who had these spectacles and coming from different parts of the world, speaking very posh English, you know, and in the mark list, we used to be shown how we were called to Maseno, 454
For 50.
out of 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
They missed 46
Yeah,
in the
they
whole
missed
class 8
46
exam,
that is it.
including composition
And I
English.
said, I'm
oh my
done
God.
here. I'm used to being number one in Jepar area.
Now you're about to be top.
This
Yeah, that was what happened to me in Cardinal Lotunga when I joined.
Mm.
I was number one in Hispania mixed.
Yeah.
First exam number 74. I was never shocked like that.
Yeah, that character development is very necessary.
So first exam number?
First exam, I think I was number 6 out of 48 in my stream.
Wow.
In my stream.
In your
Then
stream.
I was about number 20 something, number 31 in the whole of Maseno. That was around 200 and something people, 231, 240
Wow.
people.
How did you take it?
I did not like it, but I was super encouraged
Mm-hmm.
by the caliber of people who I had beaten then.
Yeah.
And then we started developing a lot of rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of academic rivalries in Maseno. I remember my friends, wherever they are, Justin and others, we used to have intense academic rivalry. And it helped me a lot, actually. It helped me a lot because it got me to a point that I really became more or less a genius in what I did. They pushed me to improve. So whenever I did not have the motivation, these guys, because I had to beat them. I beat them sometimes, they beat me sometimes.
Yeah.
And it was a very interesting time.
Nice. So you mentioned earlier on that you became a deep set. How did you get there?
Yeah, I became a deep set in Maseno because I used to fall in trouble all the time. A dirty guy, eating too much, doubling, getting in trouble. But I really thank God because there was one of my class teachers who really thought I had a really good potential. It was my class teacher. I don't know how he convinced the staff room, but he told me to apply to be a prefect.
And the radio prefect.
Now, being a prefect in Maseno is such a big deal. You get privilege, you put on different uniform. I mean, a tie, you get a room of your own.
To sleep, a cubicle.
So they convinced me to apply for prefect. Nobody in the whole of Maseno ever expected Dennis, the doubler. They call me the doubler because I'll go for the second round of food all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody expected Dennis, the doubler, to be a prefect. But I then somehow turned out to be a deputy health prefect.
Now that's something.
Deputy health prefect.
The dirtiest boy in school
The dirtiest and the most eating boy in school
is now the health prefect.
the health prefect.
How does that happen?
But I just thank God because someone saw the potential.
Yes.
I learned a lot in that role. I learned a lot.
That was in Form 3, Form 4?
That was in Form 3. We became prefect in Form 3.
Oh.
So I became a prefect in Form 3.
Assistant health prefect, Form 3.
Now I was not falling in trouble anymore. I was getting the special food. There's a prefect special food that you eat.
Yeah.
You know,
no more beans.
No more beans. There's something called top soup.
Top soup. Top layer. Let's call it top layer.
Yeah, so that's where I developed my appetite for soup. So yeah, so that's how I got there. A lot of mistakes then. I became a dictator anyway.
Oh.
You're feeling you are the oppressed.
Former criminal is now
now
the
the
biggest
oppressor.
oppressor.
Yeah. So sometimes it happens, but you learn. Again, how old were we then?
You were young then, and of course,
Probably 16 years old.
Power corrupts.
Power corrupts.
Let's blame power now.
It's the first time I'm being in charge of a group of very intelligent people.
And that is also a problem. They were very intelligent because now you can't tell them anything.
Yeah. And again, so we learned a lot through the process. But then we went through Maseno.
Nice.
In Maseno, we finished.
Form 4, what you get?
Form 4, I was disappointed. And all my friends will tell you that. I was disappointed. I scored an A minor. With A minor, I think, in all my subjects except chemistry. I knew for chemistry I'll get an A. That's for sure. It doesn't matter.
You got an A in chemistry?
Yeah.
Clean A.
That was a guaranteed.
Oh my God.
From that year in high school, I was already scoring A's in KCSEs for
exams.
papers. So I was confident that I was going to score an A in
So
chemistry.
you got a clean A in chemistry and the other was A minor.
Yeah.
That was a good result.
No, it wasn't.
What? Okay, for Maseno standards, of course, you start doubting yourself.
I was index 13.
Out of 200.
Out of 200.
Yeah. How did Dad take that?
I really felt bad. Everyone was happy around me except me.
So on your side, your dad is happy, your family is very happy.
My father was very happy.
a boy from West Pokot gets an A minus.
Not
Is a course for goat slaughtering
I
and,
was not happy.
and
I-
mbuzi soup.
No, I told my dad I want to.
What?
Yeah,
So you go back to school?
I told my dad I want to go back to school
Wow.
because I know I was meant to get A in all these modules,
Mhm.
in all these subjects.
So, yeah.
Then I end up getting an M minor in all these subjects and an A minor. I was so disappointed, but my father was happy somehow. So they
As a
discouraged me
teacher,
again.
he was happy. Yeah.
Yeah, he discouraged me again. He said, "No, this wonderful result. You go on."
Yeah.
And so that is it.
So you went on.
I went on.
So that is 2008 or
Two-
2007.
That is now I did my KCSE in 2006.
2006.
Yeah.
That was actually 2006. So 2006. Those days you wouldn't go back to school immediately.
No.
You had to wait for a year.
For 2 years.
For 2 years.
2 years.
So these 2 years, that is 2006 to 2008. What are you doing?
It was the toughest time of my life.
Mhm.
My father sent me to Ushago.
Now the real Ushago.
The real Ushago in Bondo with my
Siaya.
grandmother. I saw bad things.
Everybody wants to go
I've
up country. What
I've
happened?
never seen such a scorching sun in my life with so little food.
My brother
available
studied
to
in
me.
my brother studied in Bondo, and every time he
Bondo.
came back, he was so black.
Yeah, that's how we became dark. I never used to be this dark actually.
So it's
Until
the sun
I
in
went to Muslim.
Bondo.
My friend, the sunshine in Kisumu and Bondo are different caliber.
They do not have filters.
No filters. No filters. That's why you can pick up a luo from a crowd.
And you this is definitely
yeah.
low.
Yeah, so that's how it was. I spent my 2 years doing nothing.
No physical like economic activities.
Nothing. Maybe accompanying my grandmother to the farm once in a while.
Mhm.
And I learned
The
a
lake
lot.
was close by. No learning
No,
to
it's not
fish.
nothing. Nothing.
Whoa.
No resources. No resources. There was no resources.
Okay.
So chasing village girls.
Oh, that was basically
That's my economic and physical
Activity.
and social and political resources.
You were like, I have an A minus.
My friend, those days when you are in Bondo and you could
You have
speak
an-
Swahili,
Yes.
could,
You are above everybody.
you could convince 1 or 2 Jabers.
Jaber, come let me teach you misimu.
My friend,
Misamiati.
Misamiati.
So then you used to go through JAB, right? The
JAB.
Joint Admissions Board for
Yeah.
universities. So you go through JAB. What did you apply?
So I went through JAB.
Mhm.
I applied for industrial chemistry as my first subject.
Yeah.
I was influenced by some friends who had done industrial chemistry abroad in
Yeah.
England.
Mhm.
So I was a bit of encouraged. Let me do industrial chemistry.
Yes.
So industrial chemistry became my first choice. Then I chose economics, BCom, and other subjects.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough, and I got admitted to do analytical chemistry
Analytical chemistry.
in Kenyatta University.
Kenyatta.
Yes.
Wow. That was good. I
Yes.
hope you liked that.
I liked it, although I switched
Immediately.
from analytical chemistry
Yeah.
to industrial chemistry.
Now, before we go, we're going too fast. So
Yeah.
you applied for JAB. The letter comes.
Yeah.
What does the letter have?
The letter tells me you are admitted to Kenyatta University as
For industrial chemistry.
Yeah.
And then now you go to university and decide to change to analytical.
to analytical chemistry. So
How-
I know I
in
was called for
universities?
analytical chemistry.
Yeah.
That is what I called for analytical.
Yeah.
Then I decided to switch it
To
to industrial
industrial.
chemistry.
So you get to KU.
Mhm.
What was the procedure then to change courses? Because in our time, you have to go for like the first 2 weeks and change or nothing.
That's precisely what I did. And again,
Yeah.
it was easy to change interdepartmental.
Uh-huh.
So analytical to industrial.
It was
so
easier.
basically same modules. Maybe the whole course, maybe we just had 2 different courses,
Uh-huh.
modules. So it was easy.
Mhm.
So I just told them, no, yeah, you want to do industrial chemistry. There was no explanation or anything. And
Yeah.
they said, yeah, good enough. You are now an industrial chemistry student.
Campus, main campus.
Kenyatta University main campus.
I want to start there. I want to start from there now. A guy from West Pokot and Bondo now is about to get into the city.
Into the
let me
city.
just sit down.
Ah,
How does that go?
I saw bad things again in the city. It was a very interesting time.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I got to know my way around the city. Of course, I was conned so many times. Wale watu wa potea pata. Started like karata, wekelea, wiko wapi? 50 iko wapi?
You get
My
to
man-
the city, that's the first thing you do.
That's the first thing I did at Githurai, or in Githurai rather. So I got, they told me potea pata. I placed 50. I got. Then told me, no, you can put more. So I took my 1,000 shillings And you know what 1,000 shillings meant to a student in 2008?
That's a lot even now.
It was a lot of money even now, yeah. And then the Potea Pata went with my money. But my transition to KU was a bit interesting. Again, I was not in a very privileged family. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So my mother is the one who admitted me to campus.
Wow.
My father didn't want because he knew what he was doing then. So he
What
sent
did
my
he do?
mother with the minimum resources available: a soap,
Yes.
a basin, and an old blanket.
That is how you joined campus.
That's how I joined KU.
Okay.
That's how I joined KU. It was very hard. Again.
So the family is privileged, but that does not want you to feel the privilege.
But my dad didn't want. He did not just want me to tell me, man, you know what? I'm leaving you here without anything. So he felt the privilege, but he was like, let mommy do the dirty work.
Oh. so joining day, or going to campus first day.
Yeah.
You went with mom.
I went with my mom.
Dad alisema ko busy.
Dad anasema wewe sasa young man, unajua wewe unafanya bidii. Wewe sasa mambo yako ni mzuri. Mama anakupeleka shule. Sawa mzee, wacha mimi niende.
And then you're waiting, so you thought your money was with mom.
I thought Mzaya amepanga madhe
amepanga pocket money huko.
Madhe was a housewife that time.
Yeah.
So Mzaya amekula kamshahara, amepea madhe kitu. I didn't expect much, but angeniwachia 2,000 ningefeel top of the world.
Ikusaidia.
My friend.
So mkafunga safari you and mom na ukabeseni hapo hivi.
Tukaenda. Na si kuambiwa mpaka nikafika kwa nyumba nikatoa blanket yangu moja na bedsheet maybe.
Ulienda kwa hostels ama you were living outside?
Hostel. Nilienda kwa hostel.
Mko mnakaa ngapi?
Tulikuwa nakaa at that time tulikuwa nakaa wawili.
Wanne. Yeah. Two beds.
Because tulikuwa first year double decker.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Madhe akaniambia sasa bana wewe ni 500 nimekuachia. 500.
Then I realized, hey, wait, what is happening here? Mambo ni
So,
gari haya.
Yeah, but again those are important life skills.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did what I could do with that. I went through campus with very bare minimum. With friends again.
Yes.
Because I remember one of my friends, wherever he is doing very well now.
Yes.
That guy, I used to use him as a reference point. He used to live like a bird.
What?
He used to eat the bare minimum, spend the bare minimum, and we survive.
And he survives.
So I say, if this guy, Douglas, can survive, what about me?
What was Douglas
So
doing?
tulikuwa tunakunywa chai strong tea, hiyo ndio kikosi kale ka coil ya kupika.
Yeah.
Hiyo ikosi chai. Na ngumu, alikuwa anakuja na ngumu, tuna split, that's it. Kesho.
Mpaka kesho.
Ama jioni tukibahatika.
In campus these days they call it kuinama, by the way. Like you dodge 2 meals.
Yeah, of course.
You meet supper with 2 donuts.
You do. That's the life we lived there. That's the life we lived there. But again, looking back, it helped me build some character.
Yeah.
Will I let my child go through that? I don't think
You
so.
wouldn't.
I don't think so.
They wouldn't survive.
They
wouldn't survive.
But was it important? Yes, it was.
It was actually part of like building character. I look back at the days when I was in campus and high school. I realized, it was tough. That was tough. But now you realize it's also giving you some life lessons that you didn't want to miss. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now you go to school, analytical chemistry. How did you find it in campus?
I found it very hard.
It was not the chemistry you thought.
No, chemistry, I was doing very well in chemistry.
In school, you're good.
I'm doing very well in chemistry itself. But mathematics part, I'm not doing very well at all. Actually, I was not doing very well. So first and second year.
Campus mathematics.
Campus mathematics. There's something in Kenya University called basic mathematics.
Oh my God.
My friend, that thing is nothing near
There's
basic.
no basic. I did that in my first year.
In your first year?
Yeah. It's basically, basic mathematics is actually what you study from first year, from form 1 to form 4 in one semester.
Absolutely. They call it basic mathematics. What's basic mathematics? The first time I'm hearing about cosine, shine, I don't know what, Koshek. I'm wondering.
Cosine.
And you're calling this basic. You're calling this basic. So, basic mathematics.
Yeah,
really,
that is basic.
It was a very rude welcome for me to come.
It was like mathematics. This is not what I planned for.
This is not what I began.
Same thing I got when I did my math. When I go to school, I thought with an A in math, I was like, this is gonna be an easy one.
Yeah.
Then every math that I studied came in basic math,
Yeah.
and the rest was nothing. So I
Yeah.
never remembered everything. I was like, I have been scammed. This is too much maths here.
Yeah.
So you're doing maths and chemistry, but it's not a lot of chemistry though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a lot of chemistry. So you don't have an issue with the chemistry and the.
I don't have an issue
just
with
the maths.
chemistry, but mathematics.
Yeah.
I think I scored a C the first time in my life in mathematics.
You're shocked.
And it was a shocker. And the biggest shocker was waiting for me in year 2.
Yeah.
Calculus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, differentiation and integration.
The fact that I can relate to this, I'm like,
so they did,
reverse integration.
they did, because the Kenyan University showed me very bad things.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I passed through somehow.
Mhm.
I passed through, but by the time I was finishing second year,
Yes.
I was lagging behind. I was purely a pass or a second lower student.
You already resigned to faith.
Yeah, I was resigned to faith.
Uh-huh.
So I called myself to a meeting,
Mhm.
and they say, "Dennis, you're better than this. If you don't do something,
going
you're
to be
going
hard.
back to West Pokot.
Not even
Not a
Bodo,
bad place to be,
but you're going
but
to
not a
West
place I
Pokot.
want to be."
True.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
look at the family now.
Mhm.
I was the first child to ever be in a university.
Mhm.
In my, I can call it in my
In the
ancestry.
in the
until
clan,
then.
in the whole lineage.
In the whole lineage.
You're dropping
I'm
a whole
the very
lineage.
first person. Nitawaangusha kweli. Seriously, my friend means nitawaangusha.
Yes.
So I called myself to a meeting and I became really serious.
Uh-huh.
By good luck, in the third and fourth year, I was only supposed to specialize in.
That was now like a kumbaya
I
moment for
say,
you.
"Now,
Like,
this is heaven. My polo."
so
Yeah,
third
so-
year, fourth year, you did have a lot of problems.
I scored straight A's in all my modules.
Unbelievable.
A. Not B, not anything.
Uh-huh.
A.
And
In all of them.
dad is supporting you this time.
My dad, how could he support you? He never went to university himself. But tell a young man, you good. Yeah, you're defeating them. Yeah,
And then M-Pesa was working now. Was he sending some M-Pesa money kukufa bado by that time?
He could send me some M-Pesa once in a while.
Uh-huh.
Some relatives sometimes could send me some M-Pesa once in a while as well.
Yeah.
But I think I'd also step down my thought
Yeah.
process in expectations.
Yeah.
And I think I felt rich at one point because I was getting the help money.
Oh
Although-
yeah.
although
Let's talk
girlfriends
about
could
help.
consume.
So like how help
Yeah.
comes in, you know, it is also a big conversation even now in the university funding model.
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah.
What would you say about it?
I think for help, it's this is what I always say. Sometimes people forget where they come from.
Yeah.
Help is what kept me in school.
Without the help,
I will not have completed university without help. And for so many
Uh-huh.
other people as well,
uh-huh.
they will not have completed university without help. So
That is a
for my
fact.
generation
Yeah.
and the earlier generation
Yes.
to come down now and they're in government
Yeah.
and try to kick that out and say now we want to either disband or rearrange or redo help
Mhm.
or a funding model
Yeah.
is basically kicking the ladder for the people who are climbing.
Yeah, true.
Because we should be honest.
Very
This
honest
is
with
what
each other. Yeah,
made us
sure.
who we are today.
Yeah.
Help is what made us who we are today. Of course, we used a bit of it in luxury. and
What was happening when let's just walk us through your help. You get your disbursement. How much were you getting?
I was getting 35,000
Hey.
per year.
So first disbursement 20.
It was the first depend 20,
Yeah.
then another 20, and I think 4,000 will go into your fee.
Straight. That
Yeah.
was they knew you would
They
not
knew
do
going to
anything
fee.
with it.
And
Yeah.
in fact, I think I did not tell him straight away that I'm sorry, so I'm sorry for that. Because I did not tell him I got the help. So he
Yeah.
used to pay some fee for a while,
Yeah.
so I could probably keep 12
Wow.
out of
12,000 in that time without inflation.
in
It was good money.
2009 now.
Oh.
2008, 2009.
Mhm.
Yeah.
12,000. You know the world was coming off recession, so
Exactly.
that was a lot of
Exactly.
money.
It was a lot of money. And now I was in the campus life. And
Mhm.
I was now learning about girls now,
Yeah.
taking them. They got help, I get help, but they want to spend my help and keep theirs.
You know, one thing I noticed about girls in campus,
Yeah.
you never see their help money. Come to
Yeah.
think about it,
Yeah.
you never see their help money. But the gentleman, when the help comes,
Yeah.
you will know.
You have to feel it. If
You
you
will
ask
see.
anyone in Nyayo, it's called Nyayo Hostels.
Yes.
Nyayo 3, specifically in Kenyan
Mm.
University, they know my name.
Yeah. They know you by 3 names.
They know by 3 names. Because when help came,
Yeah.
it will be known that Dennis has received help.
Or are you the ones who are partying and singing on the corridors?
We will talk about it again. But again, can you believe people could know? And yet,
Yeah.
I've never taken alcohol my whole life.
So if you weren't drinking,
And
how
I've
would
never
they know?
smoked my whole life.
So where were you using your money on?
Happy.
Food. Or you would, you are those people whose moods change with money.
This guy's mood changed.
You're like, the moment money comes into and you're singing.
Yes. So it was a bit of that. But again, to be honest, it is help that put us in campus.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
It's
that
an
kept us in
insult.
campus.
And also, you know, most of the times, most parents cannot be able to give the students upkeep.
Yeah.
So you find them, they're surviving on debt. And then when the help comes out, now they
Yeah.
get to pay the debt. And of course, by just waiting for
Yeah.
that help, it keeps them in school.
It keeps them in school
Yeah.
because this is without help, people would be falling out. Parents are poor outside here.
Very.
People are poor.
Yeah.
And the people who are in government now should not forget that part. Most
Sure.
of them are there because of the help.
Even the president himself
Yeah.
said that he went to school without shoes.
Yeah.
The first time he got shoes was in Moi.
In
When
Moi.
he joined to wear shoes. And
I don't-
that means he's an help beneficiary.
Yeah.
Because he went to meet Moi when he was almost finishing school. So meaning at some point he had to survive.
You have to survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
now
it's so
they
sad.
should not forget it. They
Very.
should not forget it.
Now let's just keep on your story. Now you get help, you survive here and there.
Mhm.
I've of course talked about school. You say the first 2 years were hard. The second 2 you get straight A's.
Mhm.
Now, what is going through your mind when you get to 4th year? What are you thinking about? Are you thinking masters? Are you thinking career? Or are you just living?
I was thinking job.
Kazi kwa nani?
Let me tell you, sometimes we talk from a point of privilege. But to be honest, I think any ordinary Kenyan, an average Kenyan, who is graduating from high school, from campus with an undergrad, most of us cannot survive through.
True.
Leave alone even paying the fee, even just surviving. You can.
Yeah.
You can. So I was thinking work, and I started. Those people started applying hundreds of jobs in my final semester.
Question here is,
Yeah.
you see, when I was in campus, I did a bachelor's in math. So in 4th year, I go to my lecturers and ask them, now I have this degree that you guys have really taught me. I'm a mathematician. In the village where I say I did maths, everybody mouth. They're like, okay, what do I do with my course? And then they're like, what you can do it anywhere. So so when you did analytical chemistry, where were you thinking to apply jobs?
When I was doing industrial chemistry,
Yes.
I was hoping in my mind, because I'm a person of big ambitions.
Yes.
I thought, EABL will take me. And if EABL does not take me, Bamburi Cement will take me.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
will beg you.
I was thinking A-class kind of companies.
You
They will
think
beg me.
Coca-Cola will be like, Dennis,
Hey,
take
Dennis,
this
please
job,
work
please.
for us.
we have nobody else.
That's what I thought.
So what happened?
GlaxoSmithKline.
Yeah.
I was not talking small things, my friend. So, but I got a very rude shock.
Engineer.
I got a very rude shock.
Who shocks an engineer?
I think at one point I went for an internship in a company, a paint company called Sadolin Paints in industrial area.
I know that. I saw their ads.
And it was a tough. I thank them for giving me the opportunity to do internship with them or placement, whatever them, because it was compulsory for me to do it that time.
Attachment.
But we were paid nothing.
Wow.
Zero pay those days.
Yeah.
Zero food. Nothing. We were only
Wow.
given one packet of milk, which I think was regulatory or something. Because
Yeah.
of
It was to get off the chemicals.
the toxics from the system. So you know that.
Yeah.
So that's what we used to do.
In the evening. So that was the only thing you get in the evening.
That's the only thing we got in the evening.
What was the smell in the company there?
Pathetic.
And, you
And
know,
those companies,
they
those
don't
days,
give you
they
a
had got
shilling.
limited safety standards. Limited. And I was
Just by the line. Just by the regulatory line.
just the bare minimum.
Wow.
So I was thrown in there. And
How many
and
months?
For 3 full months. The only thing, everything I used to do, which was unfair at that time, but I look at it now as if it was very fair. They gave me a real job that was supposed to be done by someone else, but they're not paying me. So I was a bit bitter. Why are they not paying me yet? I'm a research and development chemist.
Yeah.
So we could develop some some formulas.
Yeah.
There's a way you develop formulas for
the paint. Yeah.
You test it in a natural environment. Then you make adjustments and you make
Then
formula.
you test it
Then
again.
you take the formula to the production floor.
Now that
they
you've
do
mentioned
mass.
it, now that you've mentioned it,
Yeah.
now tell me exactly what an industrial chemist does for a living.
And an industrial chemist, as I said, there's a very thin line between industrial and analytical chemist. An analytical chemist just is in the lab and doing the analysis.
Yeah.
The industrial chemist does the analysis and runs the production.
The test. Oh,
Can do the production.
the way you are doing in Sadoli now.
So the way I was doing sort of, I could do the
You come up with something. So what fields can you do? They can be in food. They can be in
food. It can be in anything that contains chemicals.
Yes.
In the world, soap.
You are there.
I can do it.
That is why you are over expectant, because you're everywhere.
You see, I was everywhere. Alcohol companies, those are industrial chemists.
Those are industrial chemists. Beverages, spices, perfumes.
Those are the things I will do.
So what happens after Sadoli?
After suddenly I go back to campus and I reassess my reality.
That was
Because
now fourth year. Now
Fourth year now, when I was graduating, almost
Yes.
graduating, because I saw people who were really qualified engineers at Sadolin earning 15,000 a month.
engineers.
15,000.
Let me shock you. I have an engineer friend right now who is getting 25,000. I only tell, when you sit in the locals, I'm like, wewe tutishe tu hapa. There's nothing to show for
You
it.
see?
Yeah.
And this is one time I said in my Twitter handle that if I were to do again the degree in Kenya, I will do the easiest and the cheapest.
Why struggle? Ask me.
Why
I really
struggle?
struggle in mathematics and it's not working for me. Look at what we are doing.
So I reassessed my reality, honestly. And I knew I'm going to be a chemist. Actually, not a chemist, a paint mixer.
Wow.
In industrial area.
For 15,000.
For less than 15,000. Because
No, the 15,000 was for experienced
was
staff.
an engineer. Who was mixing paint and he could do this and say, this paint contains blue, yellow, this percent.
And
he was an expert in his field.
Wow.
Sadolin.
You discovered now you're going to be a 15,000 guy.
I discovered that in a very rude way. And then I revised my expectations backwards. And I decided now I will be looking at any other thing within Kenya that time. I did not have a dream of leaving the country. So I started applying for every job I could get. Banking sector, oil and gas, whatever I will apply. Any job that was advertised, I could apply.
Thousands of jobs.
Thousands of jobs, I think, that time. Because I was in a day I could do 100 of job applications. And it was super expensive because that time I could do printed copies and take to the post office
and
put
deliver
stamps and deliver the post office.
So you what was your address back home or your KU?
I was using the KU and at that time, but at least
everybody has that moment.
At least they could send me emails once in a while. That they could. Some of them could send me regrets. Some of them could keep quiet. Whatever it is. But that's how it was.
Interesting.
So
KU, you go back, you apply. What was the first offer you got?
The first offer I got
from the jobs.
This is a very interesting because I did not get an offer then. But in KU, I was a very aggressive young man. So I could call people within the Young Pokot associations. You know the associations.
Yes.
So I could call guys. So one of the guys I called was then a HR officer in DTB. So I called him and I said, please come speak to us on campus about how to go about careers after campus and all that. So when he came, he kept my contacts.
Oh.
He kept my contacts. And when he kept my contacts, that is how we got to know each other. And after finishing, I went out and I stayed with my uncle elsewhere in a place called Mbotela.
Mbotela is in...
Mbotela is some gate along Jogoo Road.
Wow.
So I lived in
I thought it was Mbotela in Mombasa. But
no, Mbotela, the one in
Jogoo
Road. So that's where I was. So one day he just called me and said, Dennis, I know you did industrial chemistry.
Yes.
But there's a bank teller job that has come in DTB that time. And there's a bank teller job. Will you be willing to take it?
Yes.
My friend, the kind of things I was going through that time, I could not say no. Of course, when should I start?
You had already started seeing bad things after KU.
I was seeing bad things. It was very bad because I was staying with a relative that time.
How is
And
it to stay with a relative?
It depends. But my experience was bad.
Yeah.
And I cannot blame them 100% because also again they were getting the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I thank them immensely for keeping me in Nairobi.
Yeah.
That's what
that
I
was the
thank them
problem.
for.
Yeah. Staying in Nairobi is one thing.
Yeah, I wanted to stay in Nairobi.
Uh-huh.
But it was an extension. If you go to Botella, there are these county council houses.
Yeah.
And then there's a Mabati extension.
Uh-huh.
So the guy used to have this Mabati extension
Uh-huh.
with a wife and one child.
Uh-huh.
And that is that's all.
So
That's all.
that was
so we
all.
sleep all of us in the same house,
Wow.
separated by a small curtain.
Wow.
Yeah. The
Uh-huh.
wife was not a very good one because she could only
Oh.
make food when I was not in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she had that behavior of not making food when you're not
When I
around.
was in. So
Oh.
it was very, very tough. I think I used to survive when I used to go to Saddle Lane and maybe work and go for, I didn't have even a kibarua that time. I could survive on 10 shillings a day sometimes.
Wow.
Go to, just on the junction there's a place they were selling supu.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, soup.
So
So
good
they give me
tandika
soup and
supu.
one chapati.
Oh, so Supu was free without, and then you get the
No,
chapati.
that guy could give me discount because he
Oh.
knew me.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I survived through. But I thank them for giving me a stay
Nice.
in Nairobi.
Uh-huh.
It was very important. So this guy calls me,
Mhm.
tells me, "Will you take this job?"
Mhm.
I say, "Yeah, I'll take the job."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay. Will you come for interview tomorrow?"
Wow. No prior planning.
No prior planning.
Uh-huh.
And take note,
Yeah.
I had not even graduated from KU.
Still in
I
school.
finished my exam on in April. So I'm waiting for graduation in December.
Yeah.
This guy calls me in June.
Interesting.
Interesting, very interesting.
Mhm.
And so I took the job. I went there. We did the interviews.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't even have a suit. I went to a friend of mine, a Pokot guy, because I had better Pokot
You
connections.
you actually were from campus. I'm just saying that you are in the Pokot community.
Pokot, even now,
Do you know how to speak Pokot?
more fluent than I speak Luo.
Okay.
Mm.
That is interesting.
Mm.
So you went to the Locorios and they were like,
Yeah.
Shika suti.
I went to one of my friends called Edwin Siwat.
Yes.
And he told me, Dennis, yeah, you can take some suits here and there. Then I think I borrowed money from someone.
Yeah.
And we went to buy suits.
Uh-huh.
When the suit came, it was oversized. So mkono ilikuwa nafika hapa, mguu ni kama nimevaa. I was looking like a cartoon. But nonetheless,
Yes.
I remember I think nilikunja mkono. Na ni mkono ya suti,
What?
nikaenda DTB.
Uh-huh.
Ni mimi nikaenda interview.
Confident.
Wana kupata watu huko.
Wamejaa.
Watoto wenyewe wamepiga suti.
Fitting.
Suti na miwani na carriers.
Na hiyo time ulikuwa unajua miwani ni ya wasomi.
Shangai watu. Unajua imposter syndrome for beginners, for new job seekers. Inaanzanga pale kwa bench mkingojea next. Wake up on my I don't fit in at all. I don't fit in at all in this place. Honestly.
Am I worth it?
Am I worth it? Or was I just meant to be in Pokot
Yeah.
for the rest of my life?
Uko ujui.
Yeah, so it was esteem issues, I think. But somewhere, but I don't want to speak about that so
Yeah,
much. But
leave
yeah,
it
so
there.
the dad is a well-known politician, and not really politician, but somewhere in
He's
government.
there, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how
You met.
that's how we met.
So you had a wife then.
Yeah.
By the time you're getting into the teller job, or how did you get
by
to
the
end
time-
up married?
By the time I was getting out of KU to graduate,
Yeah.
she was already pregnant with twins.
Oh my God! So how do you tell professor that she's graduating with a degree of twins?
No, but
And-
this
and,
is my friend.
it's
Sisi wanalala kazini.
Ulifanya aje sasa hapo?
Sasa ikabidi mambo iko hivyo tu.
Yeah.
Imeshakuwa.
Ama ilikuwa.
Sasa
How did the dad
mambo
take
imekuwa.
it?
He did not like it. As any parent would.
Yeah.
So he don't like it at the beginning, but
Yeah.
he's happier now.
And what happens when you tell your parents the boy from West Pokot is now expecting twins?
My dad laughed.
Did he give you the talk before campus?
No.
He didn't give you the talk?
No.
Nobody gave you the talk?
No. My dad was one of my best friends, actually. Very
Yeah.
close to me. But we never had so much of those. Oh, you have twins, brother. And they go laugh.
Oh my God.
And that is how it was. So I ended up with a wife, and we were graduating. She was heavily pregnant in our
Yes.
graduation ceremony then, and we got this a 35K job in DTB airport
Yes.
when she was pregnant.
So where are you living?
Then I was living in plot 10 Embakasi.
Allah.
Kwa nyuma kabisa huko kwa sewage ya Emba pipeline.
Pipeline.
Paipu.
Ulikuwa ishi pipe.
Nyumba yangu ya kwanza 5,000
Rent.
bila dirisha.
Acha bana.
Na nilie 5,000 kwanza tulipigana nikamwambia jamaa bana
Single room.
Wezi niwekea hapa 5,000 punguza kitu mpaka 5,000.
What is a single room ama ilikuwa gani?
Single room.
What?
Tunapigana. Ndio ilipwe.
Hey.
Because those guys I was panicking because they were paying me 35,000.
Yeah.
Wakitoa taxi it was coming around 29,000. And then help inachukua.
Na help na inakata sauce.
Up front the sauce. So nabaki 24 25. Na hiyo ndio fare, hiyo ndio kuvaa, hiyo ndio rent, hiyo ndio
na unafanya JKA.
Na madama na job, mimi nafanya JKA, lazima nipande gari kila siku.
Madama na job your time.
Na job.
Sasa
ikabidi sasa
and twins are on the way.
Twins are on the way.
Oh Lord.
Paka pia twins are on the way sasa. Sasa tukapiga po hesabu ya jumba bado. Okay, niambia jumba 5,000 na kosa nawe mbaya sana.
You know 5,000 paipu sahi. You can't even get a single room.
So imagine that was then.
Yeah. That was then.
We got single rooms and we could eat 90% of the time madondo and chapati.
Chapo madondo.
Yeah.
The good thing about Mutisos, they all end up in pipeline. So we have very good DJs of chapati.
And we were, and somehow I was very happy.
Wow.
We were very happy.
I think when you have just barely surviving money, very little stress, you don't have a lot of things to think about.
You don't even have ambitions.
Yes.
Because what is the next thing?
Your ambition is to survive.
My ambition
to get
survive.
to tomorrow.
Yeah, so I could earn my 25,000 salary and because I was a teller, I'll convert them into batches of 50 shilling notes.
Wow.
So come and impress my madam with the 25,000 in 50. Serial number inafuatana.
That was one good one.
Those days before my wife got used to money, she could receive them in both hands. You could hear her and me arguing over her cab money today. Weka 10,000, weka 5,000.
Yes.
Those days, one batch of 50, she could praise me. The rest of it.
Okay, some inafika 1,020 shika. How
20.
much is that?
And she was very good with money.
Wow. You know one thing about ladies. Most of us, we've given that perception of having a woman when you're rich, having a woman when you already made it in life. But what you're telling me, and from what I've seen, your interaction with your wife when I met you, is friendship.
Yeah.
Most of us, even when we talk about the masculinist, they always tell you, go make your money.
No.
Now you're making 25,000 shillings. You're telling me you're expecting queens.
Yeah.
And you're paying a rent of 5,000 shillings. That one, we will be getting canes from Kibe.
You see? So
but she's there with you and she has stuck with you all this time.
She made me who I am today.
Not
by giving me anything.
Yeah.
But just bringing the feminine energy.
Interesting.
And this is what I was telling my lady friend sometimes.
Yeah.
A man might have all the power in a relationship.
Yeah.
But the woman has all the influence.
If she's not feminine, it's something else.
Yeah, because now you start fighting. But she brought the feminine energy, not weaknesses.
Yes.
Feminine energy of influence.
Yeah.
She could tell me something that I don't want to do, but she tells in a way that you just do it.
You'll find yourself doing it.
Yeah. And her influence is what has brought us this far.
Now, let's not get to the wife first too much. You are getting an NCBA application.
Yeah.
How does that go?
Nice. So I moved from 35,000 a month to 68,000 a month.
You aced the interview.
Of course, I told you. I don't think I've failed.
The problem is getting the interview.
The problem is just getting into the interview room.
If you get there, you do it.
If they see me, they know the job is mine.
Okay.
So I went there. Check it, my friend. Check it.
By that time, there's no oversight.
So one day I'm just walking through the streets of on Thika Road, and someone calls me, say, Dennis, we have a job, but we need someone to take it tomorrow.
Wow.
We have been offered a role, but we want to offer to someone who will take it tomorrow.
Wow.
I left DTB without resigning.
To NCBA?
To NCBA. Told them, hey guys, I left money in the account. You check count and take it there. I went to NCBA the following day.
You couldn't wait to join.
I was naive.
Yeah. So they poached you.
Yeah, and I thought, if maybe I say, give me 2 weeks, they'll deny me the job. It will go to someone, I'll continue suffering. So something, no, take it. Quit. I went.
Did you tell Mama or you told her after?
We celebrated. My friend. We celebrated in style.
Yeah.
So we were very happy. We got that. And then we moved from now.
That 5K bed.
The 5K bedroom.
Yeah.
And she pressured me to move now to 12K. One bedroom.
Ukona pesa.
Hii nyumba yenye iko pipeline stage opposite Quickmart, the former Quickmart.
Yeah.
Hapo kwa stage.
Yeah.
stage ya pipeline.
Yeah.
Kuna hii nyumba ya yellow watu wanasema ni itere sijui nini.
Yeah.
That house.
You
That
moved
was
into
my
that house.
That was my house.
Uh-huh.
I used to live there.
Uh-huh.
And life had really started changing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made mistakes.
What happened?
I was told you qualify for a 1 million loan.
Oh
As
my
a banker.
God. Now that is a different place to enter.
So I told them, give me. And it will never went well.
So what
Never went well.
you take $1 million shillings
Yeah, I took $1 million shillings
and
and furnished the house. What? Tell madam, what do you want?
What?
You tell me.
Yalu Oksechi. The money hits your account. What's the first thing you buy?
I buy, the first thing I buy is water dispenser. No. Before water dispenser, I bought a music system.
Okay.
Nikatoa ile ka TV yangu ya kwanza ilikuwa katumbo.
Bachelor lazima system. Yeah.
Muziki lazima ilie.
Young man.
Kwa jaduo. Kia muziki bwana.
Home theater.
Home theater.
So you put a home theater. What?
Spend all those money. I don't know how much it was, but somehow I remained with around 200,000.
Out of $1 million.
Out of $1 million after some time. So nikaanza
Wow.
kufanya, nikasema wacha niweke biashara ya M-Pesa. Nikiweka biashara ya M-Pesa. Exactly 4 days later. Mfanyikazi na M-Pesa anasema alikoniwa.
Oh my
Pesa
God.
yote.
200
Yeah,
out.
Out. So for the next 5 years, I'm paying a loan that I don't know what I did with.
$1 million.
$1 million gone.
That's a lot of
I
money.
suffered, man. Like I'd never had a job before.
So you when you do this, you have a 68,000 job.
Yeah.
They give you $1 million shillings.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you take home?
I was paying off. That is before tax.
Yeah.
So when they tax it, it comes around 55.
So 55, of course, they take 20,000 per month.
They're taking me around 27,000 shillings
For the loan.
for the loan.
So unabaki na pesa kidogo zaidi hata pesa ndio wanachukua.
Sasa ni shida, nibaki na 35. Alafu uliomba pale nini. Maisha ikaanza kukua tena ni ngumu. Maisha tena hivi.
So uko na good system.
Niko na good system.
Ya kusikizia shida zako.
Ikaanza kukua unsustainable.
Kwa nini power?
Mambo sasa huwezi ishi ile maisha. Sasa nikachapa home theater sell. Shylock. Mwambia kuna hapa home theater.
Kuna kitu fulani unaweza penda hapa hivi.
Kuna kitu unaweza penda hapa. And I know in deep down in my heart I bought this thing 45,000 maybe.
Yeah.
I go give it out for a loan of 12,000 and I never come back.
And disappear.
And I never come back.
Oh my God.
So it's a very bad life anyway
yeah.
when we were starting.
Uh-huh.
And I made very bad decisions. But again, we somehow managed to get out of it. I don't know how.
And how is Mama thinking at this moment? Because now, at one point I thought I was dealing with a bachelor, but now these mistakes you're making them. First of all, you celebrated the money together.
No. She never criticized me in a negative way.
What was she saying when you're buying all this?
Oh, do we need them? Yeah.
So, by the way, the lady asks you that. She's just trying to say,
don't buy
it.
Do we need them?
I was told that.
Yeah.
I was in the mood of buying a fridge, a second-hand fridge, and then I was asked, do we really need that fridge? I knew it. So when I left the place, she was like, I didn't want to tell you, but we don't need that fridge.
Yeah. Now because it's your money, maybe they feel they don't have a lot of say or something.
So you're buying 800K.
Yeah, but
she's still stuck for those 5 years.
Yeah, she's never criticized my decisions, and she does criticize it, but not in a negative way.
Yeah.
But she's believed in me in my good and my very bad decisions,
Yeah.
because I've really bounced back so many times.
Yeah.
And she'll help me make decisions. Even when I made these bad decisions,
Yeah.
it was out of her help that we got out, because she could talk to relatives sometimes. She could go to her chamas.
Yeah.
And that's go to us through the wind as I stabilize.
And she by this time she's also employed.
She's not employed. Because
you're being saved by a lady who has not even gotten a job yet.
By the time we were moving to this house, she was probably, the children were now about 6 months old.
Wow.
And they're twins.
That's one baby's diapers is the reason why I'm not having a kid right now. So imagine
Thank
twins.
God it was in the 2008, but it was still very difficult.
Diapers, how much are they then?
I don't remember, but they were heavy because we could do one diaper a day. And then we improvise somehow. We improvise for them.
You do the village thing.
We do the nappies.
But the boys are looking good now.
Now you see now. Yeah. So now things change later.
Yeah. You're having young kids, supposed to get them diapers, naan, and all that. Mama is jobless.
Mhm.
You're now working for the bank, literally,
Mhm.
literally and figuratively, because
Yeah.
you're paying them a lot of money.
A lot of money.
How do you get out of this fix?
I don't think I got out of this fix
Mhm.
very quickly. So we moved again from
12,000.
from
You had to
12,000
downgrade
house,
again.
We went to Kino. I don't know if we moved to Kino
Wow.
that time. So I
And
lived
you're working in
Kino.
town.
And I'm working in town, but I
Uh-huh.
had to move.
Mhm.
And those days, Kino was not as open as it is now.
Mhm.
It was not as cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
So actually, basically, everyone was a relative to someone.
They knew each
So
other.
if you are a newcomer, they know, oh, this is a
They're
newcomer.
like, there's a new chicken
There's
in
a
town.
newcomer here. So we went there,
Uh-huh.
and one day they did me that bad thing.
They entered the house when you're
You
not
know,
there.
They got me on the road. It was during some
Wow.
election period.
Uh-huh.
So I was with my very big phone.
Yeah. And
Techno, the big techno.
The one that you're holding with both
yes,
hands.
yes. I was there like, Baba is taking this thing. I'm telling you, Baba is taking this thing.
And they asked you where.
No. Then I had ding,
Allah.
something cold in my hand. Weka simu hivyo vile umeweka. Kuja fuata mimi.
Ah, yeah.
That was in some road going to my house.
Uh-huh.
Fuata mimi, they took me to a maize farm.
Uh-huh.
Lala chini, I lied down. I thought today
It's
is
the
end of
day.
it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether it is a gun. My friends keep joking that it was just a spoon.
And they had that behavior of putting spoons on
I don't
people's
remember,
necks.
but if it was a spoon, I believe it's a gun.
Oh my God.
So they took my phone,
Uh-huh.
they took my shoes, and then they left.
Wow.
They told me, Lalapo, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I could not hear anyone.
Mm.
First of all, those guys knew me because they said, wewe ni Dennis Otieno. Unaishi nyumba fulani.
Hey,
I said,
It was a setup.
This is now done.
they set you up.
But somehow, that's how. The moment I reached the house, my wife saw me. She said, tomorrow we move. We moved out.
You
and
discovered
we
this
went
is not
back,
it.
We went back to Islands. So I came back to Feather Estate now.
Yeah.
I live there. Then things started opening up.
Now, my question here is, many times when people think about Kino, there is always these houses
Yeah.
that they're called own compounds.
Oh, no. It was not an own compound, but there are a lot of own compounds in that place.
In those own compounds, I hear there's a lot of bad things that happen there.
There are a lot of bad things happening
Like
there. I used to
they
hear
sell
about-
you a rent for 10,000, a house, a 3-bedroom house for 10,000. Then you'll find out why it's for 10,000 later
Exactly.
when they visit you.
Hey, brother, that is what happened. I used to pay 10,000, about 7,000, 8,000 for my 2-bedroom house
Wow.
in Kino that time with my twins and my wife. But it was pathetic. When it
Wow.
floods, the water comes in. When you open the door, a battalion of snails,
Oh my God.
a battalion of snails
They
will come
come
in the
in.
house.
It was actually in the farm then.
Exactly.
It was a farmland.
It was dumpy,
Uh-huh.
bad, pathetic, you know.
Mhm.
But then when they did me that thing,
It was over.
I came back
Uh-huh.
to Islands. I stayed in some estate. Then I started doing a bit of Shylock.
So that was when the break came.
The break came. My break came in Shylocking.
How do you get into Shylock?
A friend of mine who is somewhere told me, "Nipe 11,000, nakupe 120." And somehow I had that money. I don't know how I had it, but I gave him. It came 120, and then I gave him back. He gave me more. Started building. I said, "Oh, this can be a business." So I started looking for more clients and more clients and more clients, and I could do Shylocking. That's how I made my money. And within about 6 months, I think I had built a lot of money. I got my first million in less than a year out of Shylocking. Yeah, so that's how I made my first million in
Profit.
my life.
You made your. I'm still waiting for my first million, but you made your. I'm still young. Don't get it wrong, but you got your first million in Shylocking. By this time was it regulated or it was just?
It was. I was doing it
friend
through
peer to peer.
It was peer to peer. Trust, 100%.
They
But
say
there
you
was
lose your friends if you give them. They say if you give your friend money, you lose your money and your friend. How did you do that?
I'm happy I've had this after doing it. Probably I would not have done it before, but I did it somehow.
Yes.
I did it somehow, and they were very good friends. We are still friends up to today. And I had a very small clique of friends, about 10 of them. I used to do a lot of heavy Shylocking. Makio was in a bank, so I was using proxies. Because in the bank it was illegal.
Yeah.
But that's how I made $1 million. And $1 million became $2 million. then
Nice.
like that,
Okay.
then somehow, then plus that, and then
Now
all of a sudden I was just comfortable.
you're comfortable. Now, when does your first car come in?
I got my first car. It was a Nissan Note.
Oh,
Yeah, but I bought it in a yard in Ngong Road for 610,000
cash money.
cash money.
Shylock monies are
Shylock
coming
money,
through.
good money.
Yeah.
I used to call it Range Rover Note. Not Nissan Note.
At this time,
Range Rover Note.
this time, the kids, how old are they?
The kids by 2016, because I'd now moved from NCBA.
Yeah.
I'd come now to Stanbic.
Yeah.
By the time I was doing that, because I moved to Stanbic now.
When did you move to Stanbic?
I moved
After
to Stanbic
Kino?
after Kino. So I moved. I just came and then I go almost the same time I got the Stanbic job. So yeah, I was in Stanbic and I got my first car, a Range Rover Note.
Range Rover. Black in color.
No, it was maroon in color. And I somehow survived with that Range Rover Note. It was a very good car. So that's how I got my first car.
First car. Now, you had the family in Eastlands. Are you changing the quarters, or a millionaire is still living in Eastlands?
Yeah, we were not making so much at that time at the beginning, but I was in million. I was making. I could save $1 million. Maybe I had $1 million.
You had $1 million, but you didn't have the $1 million in cash.
Yeah, it was not in cash. It was always in business.
Oh, but
so
by this time, that 5-year loan is over. The one
5-year loan
you
is
had to buy
almost
it
coming to
back.
an over. Yeah, that's not worrying me anymore.
You have extra sources of funds.
That's an issue, one. I'm also a bank of my own.
You're your own driver and you have a bank.
I'm also loaning people. What do you mean? And Sherlocking business is a very lucrative business in this country. People really do Sherlocking at 20% a month, 30% a month, 40% a month.
That's a lot of money to come back.
It's almost unfair.
Yes.
You know, so it's not something you can do for a long time. If you care about reputation and others.
Yes.
But
because you also have to have some repossession tactics as well.
So it gave me a stepping stone.
Yeah.
It gave me a stepping stone, but I didn't do it so
much. So after how long did you end the Sherlocking?
I did it for about 2-3 years.
In 3 years, already made millions.
Millions.
Wow.
Not
but
so
it's
many.
It's just the friends. It's all the friends that you keep.
Friends. I had so very good friends who could call me. Niweke wapi?
Oh my God. Allah. But most of the times you have friends who don't know how.
I think in the entire period, I lost probably less than 100,000.
In the whole period?
In the whole period. I lost that.
You are a lucky one.
And I'm making about 4 million.
4
something million.
Wow. That's a good one.
So that's how I got my money.
Finishing, you're now a millionaire, you have a car, family is moved again to a better quarters. What's next?
My wife said we move. We went to live in a gated community.
Wow. The feminine energy in your woman is to show you the places.
Yeah,
the time. She knows the time to
got
live.
a house and said, that's why nimepata nyumba na nyumba ni 40,000. But nimebagain mpaka 38,000. Na ni safe for children.
Oh yes.
So mimi ninaanza kuambiwa tu wewe sasa wewe. I'm not asking, I'm just informing you. I'm not requesting.
Tushaongea. It is about you to bankroll.
Mimi na kuinform tu kwamba tuna move.
Hata watu wa moving washapigiwa simu.
Hata moving washapigiwa simu. We can move to a gated community. We got our children from there to a better school, a private school then. Mambo imeanza kuchamuka. Madam amepata job in a bank as well.
Nice.
That time. So things were looking nice. Bought her car. So I have my Range Rover Note that I did not want to retire.
Range Rover Note, you didn't like it moving away from you.
Because that Range Rover Note knew everything. It was my brother at that time.
It was driving with you.
It was driving with me.
Yes.
It was a very lovely car.
Yeah, so that is 2016.
That's now later on, 2016,
2017. Yeah. Now, we are still moving to your life abroad, yeah?
Yeah.
What pushes you now to... You're now in Stanbic, your Sherlocking business is going on, and you decide to quit Sherlocking. What are you doing now?
Yeah, no, I kept on doing a little bit of Sherlocking for sometimes. Then I went into insurance agency, doing brokerage a little bit through people. And then my friends who were giving me business were also showing me when they go to bid for tender, they could also present, like when you do insurance, they could present themselves as insurance brokers. Yeah. But in a sense, I was the broker.
Okay.
I was the broker. So I said I made a little bit of money in there. And again, Madam was also making her money.
Yeah.
And I invested a little bit in shares. I burnt my fingers a little bit then, but it was better.
Yeah.
But I made some money.
Would you do shares again? Or you
Not
in
not
shares
the
now?
current status of of the market.
Yeah,
in the economy in Kenya, but I can do maybe international markets.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Now, you after this, now you and Mama has settled down.
Mhm.
How does this life abroad hit your mind?
Yeah, so we work, and she grew very fast. She's the one who challenged me because she moved to she was starting with us as a customer care agent. In a minute, she moved to a supervisory role. In a minute, she moved to assistant manager in digital. That was a big challenge. I used to step up because what I do.
She's a Bachelor of Science mathematics major, and she's making moves in
the banking sector as well.
You at this moment you're in the banking sector.
I'm
She's
also in
already
the banking
outranking you already.
She's outranking me because again that bank was compensating them very well.
Oh,
When it came to bonuses, especially, I saw dust. They could see dust.
and what is happening to your finances? Because at this point, you are getting your money. When you get your money at the JKIA, you bring her the 50,000.
Yeah.
The 50 bobs in
The 50 bobs.
in 25k.
Clean new notes.
Serial number.
Arranged.
So, when you go to this other job, when you get the million, you bring it home. And that is one culture I like about you and your family. That you actually have an open financial policy.
Yeah.
Kind of, you're talking. Now, when your lady gets the money, does she bring that same openness in the market?
Absolutely. And not only does she bring the money, but first of all, she even brings the letter.
Oh my
I
God.
say, yeah, this is what you're earning as bonuses. And when it comes,
Wow.
mzee sasa unaonaje
Yako
mambo?
inabidi uweke chini.
Mzee sasa tuambie mambo inaelekea aje dunia
Now,
hii.
now she's coming to you for leadership.
Yeah, leadership.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But I like the fact that in your house there is some form of hierarchy. Like mzee anatoa mawazo, mama ana support mzee.
That woman is very influential.
Yeah?
In what I do, because again she brought me through all that.
Yeah, she's been with you, but you know, I can't even remember my girlfriend when I was broke in campus. Yeah, I think the person I was with was telling me, you have to buy me flowers, and I'm telling them I can't even afford flowers right now.
Wow. When you are here at the time, you have to.
You have not taken me for dates, so you don't love me.
I remember my first. The reason.
What was the first date you took her?
No, she cooked rice. She was cooking a pilau in her house, in their house within KU servant quarters, because the father was a professor then.
Yeah,
and she stole for me.
Wow.
Some pilau in a jug and brought to my hostel in
That was
Nyayo
love.
room 3.
That was love.
And I enjoyed it, but pilipili alijaza hivi. Mimi sijakulenge pilipili na lia nakula.
Lakini better than the kangumu, man.
Njaa inakuuma unakula pilau. Then that is how we kumbe mzana anaweza niangalia mbangu. Then we used to go to KM, the market outside there. She then nafika kuna mema. No, don't worry. Mambo simba. She could give me under the table. I pay for eggs and all that. Yeah, our first date was in somewhere near basketball court in KU. Those sides in KU. And we went out it was her birthday. Yeah. And I brought her Del Monte.
That was a
birthday card. And a candle.
You are very romantic.
My friend, I did not look as I was. I know.
Very romantic.
So that's how that's the culture that we moved on with. Because I was also open to her. This is much money we're making. This is what we're doing. So she reciprocated that when we got married up to now. That
is how it has kept you. Now, so she challenges you with these bonus letters. Of course, she's getting more than you.
Yeah.
Basically, at this point, ladies change. She stays the same.
She stays the same.
Now, what makes you think I gotta move from this place now?
She was beating me on salary, but on my side hustle.
Ulikuwa mbaya.
So mimi bado ni kiongozi.
Big wig.
Bado ni heavyweight.
Yeah.
Sasa bado tulikuwa mambo ilikuwa sawa.
Yeah.
So then she comes and tells me one day she's bored.
Wow. And she's getting good money there.
She's getting serious money. She's getting a bonus of 600 and something per year. 700
Come on.
a year.
In standards, you're like, okay, this is good money for the family.
What's up?
Gated community.
What's up? Yeah.
Everybody's driving.
Yeah. She's bored. She wants to because she had moved to a role she did not like. It was a promotion, yes, good money, but she did not like it. She's very introverted.
Yeah.
And she was going into sales. Digital sales.
That would be hard.
So she was like, I don't want this job. I don't like it. I want to resign. I want to be a housewife. For a time being. But what? That sounds good, but it doesn't go. It's not good.
Tumezoea pesa akikaa nyumbani.
Nimezoea pesa. Mimi pia nimezoea pesa yake. Analeta pesa. Mambo gani tena hii tunaongelea?
Tunarudi
Then I
wapi
told
hapa?
her, no. You cannot resign now. You hold on. Let's see. You resign maybe end of the year.
Yeah.
When
That was
we put
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
2019.
So that's like 3 years into her role.
Yeah. Nikamwambia kaka tutaona mwisho wa mwaka. Then mwisho wa mwaka what happens? Almost when she's almost resigning, CBA and NIC
they merge. NCBA.
And then after a while they announce a restructure. And they say we are giving a package for voluntary exit.
Oh boy. Don't tell me she took the exit.
So she said, oh, this is heaven sent.
Oh my
Because she was
God.
anyway going to resign.
Yes.
What a better way of resigning with something that you never expect.
Sure.
And she has got money, she's getting her pension, she's getting some package. She's going to live well.
So they were giving them a good exit package.
Yes. By that time, we had started toying around with this idea of migration, and her relatives she had got a lot of relatives in the UK.
Yes.
And Canada. So we had started toying around with this. So this is a perfect time
to
move then out of the country. If this is the time, we have the money, we have the excuse to leave. So she took it and she stayed home. Then I applied to, by that time I had applied to Canada. Yeah. Even before she resigned, I applied to Canada. Canada stayed with my application for 6 months. They gave me a rejection.
You wanted to move as an expatriate?
As a student.
Oh.
I got an offer letter, everything. I gave them my title, my logbook. I gave them everything. I told them I'm leaving the family behind. Yeah. And they come back and say, no, we are not convinced you will be coming back.
Oh boy.
So
you're leaving twins. Come on.
I'm leaving my family, my everything. Saying I cannot come back. Fine. I did not want to appeal.
Yeah.
Applied to the UK. UK accepted me in record because I applied for advanced visa. They accepted me in record 4 days.
Advanced visa. What is an advanced visa?
A priority visa. It's a visa where you apply. If you apply standard in the UK, it's 15 days, 14 days. Yeah, and you get your visa. Priority is 4 days.
4 days.
Super priority is 1 day. So
you
apply
went for priority.
I went for priority. I got my reply.
Student or
student?
Okay. What were you going to study in the UK?
I was going to do an MBA.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to end that story right there for this first part of this conversation with Dennis.
Yeah.
When you come back, we'll now start from moving all the way, how you found the new environment in the UK. You've been working in Kenya for 10 years now.
Yeah.
Your lady has found work and she said she's bored. Now, I want to know how you got to relocate and all that. So in the second part of this interview, we're going to take us into that abroad country and see exactly what happens for people living abroad. There are people who are listening to this and watching it and they're wondering, where do they come? So thank you so much for also finding time to listening. And I know it's on Spotify and other platforms as well. So yeah.
Social conversations, engaging topics on your phone anywhere. This is Home Run.
That is that for now.
Pipi.
Thank you.
Keep on subscribing to Home Run with Pipi. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again here live with my guy, Dennis, who is talking to us on his journey series. And on the journey series here on Home Run with Pipi, we try to get to understand the people's stories in the easiest and simplest ways, and of course keeping it as candid as possible. So in the first part of this interview, we were talking about his personal life, his journey, how he met his wife, and the struggles, the mistakes that he did before this moment. And now I just want us to dig right deep, because he was working in Kenya, got his first million in Kenya. Normal people, when they get their first millions, they get comfortable, they build houses. Why did you not build a house, first of all?
I did not build a house. I did not think it was a priority for me then. And I also don't think I had enough to build a proper house that I wanted at that time. So it did not cross my mind as something very, very important or urgent at that time. Yeah.
So you get that student visa that we were talking about now,
exactly.
Because Mama is bored.
Mhm.
You're also feeling like you need now to step up. You'd want to do an MBA.
Yes.
Tell me
Now,
about
because
it.
I was also bored because I was in Stanbic Bank at that time.
Yes.
I'd grown through positions.
Yeah.
I'd reached a point that I was bored.
Mhm.
I also wanted out the way out.
Uh-huh.
So when Madam says she wants to move out and we were okay financially somehow,
Yeah.
we thought, yeah, why not? Let's try and move out of the country. Let's go to the UK.
Uh-huh.
So when I left, I got my visa in December
Uh-huh.
of 2019.
Uh-huh.
And I left the country around, if I'm not wrong, around 27th
Uh-huh.
of December of 2019.
Mhm.
So I got into the UK at that time. That is how I moved out. I left my family behind,
Uh-huh.
but by the time I was leaving them, they already had their visas at hand.
So it was a follow. What do we call it? Follow to join.
Yes,
kind of
exactly.
visa.
They were coming to join me as dependent,
Uh-huh.
but they already had their visa
Mhm.
because I did not. I was a bit like I don't want to go and
Yeah.
maybe
Uh-huh.
try to see whether it will work out. So I just made sure I had my visa,
Yeah.
and my family had their visa.
Mhm.
So just going just to lead and find a way of
Mhm.
to stay.
So where you go to which town? Do you go to Preston?
I
or
go
you
straight to Preston. I go straight to Preston.
You love so Preston. You have a history with Preston.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
a second home.
It's my second home. That's my second
You
home.
love the environment.
I love it. I love
You
it.
land in the first day there. How does it go?
Not nice.
Why?
So no, or it's partly nice. I land there. I land in Manchester.
Mhm.
I drive. I get a taxi all the way to Preston,
Mhm.
a very short distance, and the guy tells me 97.
Oh my God! You instantly convert.
My mind converts at 15,000 shillings.
Anyway,
Uber. What?
take me back to Kenya.
I am unable to can.
Oh my
15,000.
God! Interesting.
It is very interesting.
Uh-huh.
So I go there and I will somehow figure out until I reach the place I was supposed to go to.
Yeah.
Because the plan was to go to an Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
And then while in the Airbnb,
Mhm.
I try to see whether I can get a house
Yeah.
where I can move to
Uh-huh.
and then bring my family.
Wow.
So I go there
Mhm.
and I reach the building and it is a locked door. You use codes and all that.
You were used to padlocks.
Yeah, my Kenyan line is not working there.
Oh my God.
I've got no way of telling the host I'm already here.
Uh-huh.
It was very difficult. So I had to wait and read around, and it was a bit rainy. It was cold, terrible.
Uh-huh.
I stood outside, but luckily, a few minutes, someone came out
Mhm.
and I went into the building.
Mhm.
So I found my way and knocked. By good luck, it was the proper apartment.
Yes.
That's supposed to be. The guy was in.
And the guy was inside the house
The
waiting.
guy was in
Oh,
there.
you're lucky because now
Mm.
you get into the house, a
Yeah.
new African man in
Yeah.
in a block.
In a block.
and how was the reception when you got there? Were the people looking at you different, or
No.
Preston is
People are looking
also
at you
has
like,
black
you know,
people?
Preston that time had some black people, but it was not as
Yeah.
diverse as it is now.
Yes.
Preston is so diverse right now.
Mhm.
So it was not. So I could ask guys, hi, I'm looking for this. Look at you. No one is answering you.
Wow.
You know, in Kenya, we say, hi.
You
People
just
look at you like, are you
yeah.
a mad person? Or what's
Wow.
wrong with you? What's this guy waving at everybody? So it was very, that culture shock.
Yes.
I got to this building.
Uh-huh.
The guy showed me because he was living in the same apartment.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
So he was not like living elsewhere.
Mhm.
So he lives upstairs. He tells me you'll
Sleep down
stay
here.
in this apartment, this tiny room of yours. And I spread my bed and I stayed there.
Yeah.
Tiny room.
How much is that
I paid approximately 250 pounds
for the whole stay?
for my whole stay, which is about 4 days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was not very expensive because it was just a cubicle and he was living there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I look at the window and I look across,
Uh-huh.
and it hits me so deeply.
Yeah.
How beautiful Kenya is.
Wow. How ugly is that place?
It was not ugly,
Yeah.
but it felt so empty and so lonely.
Oh.
I never knew people. The weather was pathetic.
Mhm.
Something which you call grey weather. The
Uh-huh.
grey weather.
Uh-huh.
It was in the middle of winter.
Uh-huh.
Nobody in the streets.
Mhm.
It was in the middle of COVID-19. and
Yeah,
there's a
that was what I
total
wanted to
lockdown.
ask you.
There's a total
A
lockdown.
lockdown.
Total.
Why would you move outside your country in a lockdown?
Because I was trying to beat the lockdown.
So your idea was
Let me rush to the
let
UK
me leave
before
this
they
place
say
before they
no flying to Kenya from Kenya.
Oh.
That's why
So for you it was all about running.
it's about running so that it finds me in the UK.
Okay.
Otherwise, they start saying, "Oh, you do your course online," and
Yeah,
that.
sure,
I didn't
sure.
want that. I wanted to go to UK.
They wanted you to go to class
So I went
online.
to UK, yeah, and I looked through the window. It was grey weather, raining 24/7. The weather is pathetic. It gets dark at 3 p.m.
The food.
Nobody in the streets. No way to get food. I did not have food. Just going through online to try to order food from places. It was very bad.
Wow.
It was very bad. I felt very bad. I started recalling home. I missed home. I never ran through my mind that I should go back. But at least I felt, no, this is not it. It's not it. I need a more social life. So I stayed there and I started looking for houses.
Yeah.
And there are no houses.
What?
In the UK is not a place you go
You
just
know
like
house
Kenya.
hunt ati kuna nyumba hapa?
Hapana. When you go come Kenya, you say,
I'm looking
I like
for-
this house. I'm paying a deposit. I'm coming in the afternoon.
What is the process of
In the
getting a
UK,
house
you,
there?
you search for a house.
Yes.
You apply for the house.
You apply.
You
Like
apply
a
for the
school?
house. Like you apply for a school.
What?
And someone looks at that and they ask you, give us your credit history.
Information here.
I've just come yesterday. I don't have a
I
credit
don't have
history.
credit. What is credit
Yeah, what is
here?
credit? And give us your payslip to show us where you work. I have never worked in the UK. I've
Oh
just
my
come.
God.
Oh, sorry. We cannot give
So
you
the payslip is to confirm that you can actually
you
afford
can
the house.
afford the house.
Uh-huh.
And the credit history means that you can actually pay. You don't run away
Okay.
from your debts.
Uh-huh.
You'll actually pay.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't have either of them. So
That was crazy.
So terrible.
Uh-huh.
So I struggled. The family could not come because there was no house.
Yeah.
No house. Then I moved out of that because my tenancy in this Airbnb was over.
Oh, yeah.
I went to a student accommodation, a private student accommodation.
Uh-huh.
That time during COVID, they were desperate for students. They gave me a 2-month tenancy,
Uh-huh.
2 to 3 month tenancy.
Uh-huh.
So I signed that tenancy.
Yeah. It was free? Or you pay?
I pay. It's a private accommodation. Usually they tell you pay for a year.
Yeah,
But they
or
accept
they
because
gave
of
you
COVID,
3
the numbers were
months.
low.
Yeah.
So they just come.
So normally student tenancy you pay a year.
You pay a year.
Uh-huh.
If you cannot pay a year, give us a guarantor, who should be a person living in the UK with all that blah blah to sign and
With the credit score as well.
credit history and all that.
Oh, yeah.
So I did not go that route.
Mhm.
So they gave me a house and
Mhm.
I a room and I got into the room and that's how I
You
stayed
started.
there.
Yeah.
I did not like my stay the first 3 months. I missed people terribly.
Yeah.
There was no going out.
Mhm.
It was just 4
Walls.
walls within.
Yeah.
You are alone.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter.
Yeah.
Raining 24/7. Negative temperatures sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
No family to talk to. Nothing to do. Classes are online for Monday only. Let's say
Wow.
from 9 to 1.
Uh-huh.
Nothing else. You cannot go to a barber shop.
So only
no
Monday.
Gym. Only Monday.
No gym, no barber shop.
Nothing. So from Monday 1 p.m. you stay like this. You wait for the next day.
No TV in the room.
I did not have a TV in the room.
So
And there were
reading-
common rooms that we were not allowed to share because of COVID.
reading.
I used to read online. At least they had Wi-Fi. They
So
could
so
read
you
sometimes.
could just spend your time reading.
But you don't leave the room.
No interaction with people.
I grew very thin.
Did you even for those 3 months did you even know what that town was about?
I did not know. Even if you took me just behind the house and told me,
Go home."
look for where you should. I did not know. But there was a gentleman who really helped me because this is
Yeah.
a guy who heard that I was around.
Mhm.
A Kenyan came to see me.
Yeah.
And this guy really encouraged me and I felt very different.
Yeah.
Not only a black person, but a Kenyan.
Mhm.
Yeah. In a country where you're not seeing a human being because you're not allowed to socialize
Wow.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
And this guy brought ugali the next
Shock
day.
of the day.
He brought ugali in a paper bag.
What?
My friend. We
Ulirarua.
became the best friend until today. Until today.
You still talk to him?
We live in Preston, both of us.
So you visit each other.
And we happen to be MBA classmates as well.
Nice. So how do you get MBA there? How do you get the classes?
How did they experience
How do you
the
find
classes?
them? Yeah, how do you
Yeah, yeah.
experience? Because
Yeah.
you from KU you went into work and now you're going for an MBA.
I did not. I really look forward to it. I really like them
Mhm.
because they were really teaching us things that I found to be very practical. The way of teaching was very different from
Yeah.
the Kenyan way of teaching.
Mhm.
No cramming, nothing. You're given a size assignment. Go
Yeah.
research in the library. You're given material. You're given guidance, and I like.
Mhm.
And I tell people until now, 90% of the things that I got out of my MBA
Yeah.
were not things that were taught. Were things that I
Uh-huh.
was directed to go and research and read.
Nice.
So I liked it.
Uh-huh.
And again, because it was not a specialized MBA, it was not MBA in marketing or MBA in something.
It was just
MBA in
an
everything.
MBA, yeah.
So we did a module in marketing,
Uh-huh.
project management,
Nice.
entrepreneurship,
Uh-huh.
leadership, all that. So it was a bit encompassing.
How long does this take?
2 years.
2 years.
Usually, masters in the UK is 1 year.
Yeah.
But I took it with a placement year.
Now, you are in UK. You're a student.
Yeah.
You're used to working.
Yeah.
Is there a chance for you to work while you're a student there?
There's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance to work as a student. That time, there was a lot of opportunities. But I started off as a carer.
Caregiver.
Sisi tukaenda kwa caregivers kidogo. Nakalia napea mtu caregiving, unajiuliza sasa. I resigned in my manager job. I stand to come and do this.
How do you feel? You know these are things people say. Unaenda abroad kufanya kazi ya caregiving. Yeah. So unaenda abroad kufanya kazi ya caregiving. Umeacha kazi kubwa hapa hivi, you are a degree holder, an engineer for that matter. And you find yourself now caregiving for the old. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
It makes you feel awful.
Does it change?
It makes you feel awful.
Does it change you?
It changes you. It humbles you into something you've never been before. Because
do these people treat you like a human being, or
they treat you well, but you just feel more qualified. And nothing to say about the people doing the job. It's a proper job.
Yeah.
People should do it. They do a very, very important work.
Critical.
Very important job to keep people alive and to keep people dignified.
Yes.
But really, it was not the kind of job that I looked at. I had grown into my career, graduated, grown into multiple bands, DTB, NCBA, Stanbic, grow in the rank. And then I come
somebody's offering you
I
this.
come to the UK to do personal care.
It really caught up with you.
I brought myself to a meeting. It pays my bill. But you have to do what a man got to do.
Sure.
Bills will not wait for you.
They will not. And that is one thing I've noticed even with the people who are abroad.
Yeah.
If you do not work, you will not get.
If you don't work, you will not eat.
That's just as simple.
That's it. There's no friendship. You cannot call me Dennis, need to me 50 pounds. I can. People don't borrow money. If you want the quickest way of diasporans blocking you, is to ask for money. Hakuna brother
hakuna cabbage huko.
Hakuna chumvi, sijui neighbor hakuna chumvi. Hakuna.
Kama uko njaa lala njaa.
And bills don't wait. No one chases you.
Yes.
Just hapo kwa flip kuna mlango, kila mlango iko na space.
Yeah.
Mail imeingia, barua.
Yani bill.
Your water bill is due. Your electricity bill is due.
And they don't stop coming.
Due. Your internet is due. Your TV license is due. Everything.
You have a TV license too there.
Yeah, you have a TV license.
Okay.
So if you watch any kind of live TV, you have to be paying government to avoid watch live TV.
So if you're watching, I'm a lover of Premier League football. Yeah. So you have to pay for the Premier League football in your TV license.
You have to pay for the TV package itself first of all, like DSTV. You pay for that. But the government comes on a separate side, like government of Kenya comes and say, okay, do you have a TV in your house? Yes. Give us £14 a month.
What?
For owning a TV.
What?
And this is actually, anyway, this is the money that keeps BBC afloat.
Oh, this is BBC monies now.
This is what keeps BBC afloat. Yeah. So we pay
TV license
happily. We call TV license.
But there you actually get the real services.
No, you get.
And the TV like BBC, you can see where your money is going.
You for sure you see.
Now, that one of the things you're telling me is TV license. What other culture shock did you experience?
People not being sociable
at all.
No, for the first time, I'm a social animal. You've seen my life when I came here. I've never been indoor for a whole day. Yeah. But in the UK, I used to stay in the house.
First 1 year, very tough.
This is how I became bald. My hair started thinning.
You were always scratching your head. Who was there to talk to?
Then I went through a very bad mental health episode that time because of the transition. Yeah. My dad had just passed on in 2019 before I flew out of the country. Oh. And the transition was very difficult that time. Very difficult. So somehow I managed to pull myself together because people are looking up to you. You see? Yeah. You have sacrificed.
You have a family, you have people, your kids are growing fast.
Yeah, so you had to do care work for a bit of some time. Then Madam came, then she switched on to working. Yeah. Then I stepped back to concentrate on my MBA. The good thing is that I'd paid all my fee up front. Yeah. I'd paid all my rent for
from
6
Kenya.
months
From Kenya.
Oh, yeah. So I did not have to work.
So you didn't you did the work to keep you
but
afloat.
the guilt that I've pumped in 3-4 million into this, and I'm not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, that would get to you. That
would get you out of your bed.
Yeah, sure.
To go work.
Yeah.
So that's how I pulled back a little bit. But Madam started working, and one of my supervisors also challenged me. One of my professors that time told me, Dennis, Doing the work in McDonald's is good.
Yeah.
Doing the work in care home is good.
Yeah.
But do you need a master's for that?
Wow.
Did you come for 6,000, 7,000
Kilometers
miles
just to
the
do
UK
this?
to do care work? If you
1,000.
wanted to do care work, you didn't ever have to do masters.
Oh,
It challenged me so much. It hurt me.
You have
man.
to ask yourself this
I
question.
asked myself this question.
Uh-huh.
He told me you have to be serious whether you want to keep flipping burgers in McDonald's. You call
Wow.
it. Do you want
Yeah,
to keep
flipping
flipping
burgers.
burgers in
Yeah.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't want to flip burgers.
So what are the most of the times, and
Yeah.
and I'm going to talk about it as a person who's looking to relocate. Many times when we talk about career opportunities abroad,
Mm-hmm.
people will always talk about the caregiving jobs
Mm-hmm.
and the McDonald's jobs, the cleaning jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and some of us are very disappointed, discouraged from actually taking up such jobs. What other things can you do in the UK?
I think those are the main one. If you come as a student, because
Yes.
you don't have a guaranteed work visa, you come
Yes.
and you want immediate thing.
Yes.
And again, there is this thing, we go to Canada, they have called it Canadian experience.
Yes.
You don't have the experience in the country.
Yeah, sure.
You've never been employed by anyone. They don't know you.
Uh-huh.
So you have to show that at least you can be. The easiest job to get are the McDonald's, the care jobs,
Yeah.
the Amazon warehouses. You have to do them because the bills are not
Factory
waiting for you.
jobs.
The factory job, you have to do them. The only difference is for how long are you willing to keep doing this?
Are these jobs are these jobs able to sustain you, or are just bare minimum jobs?
They are minimum wage jobs,
Yeah.
but you can live with it depending on circumstances.
Yeah.
So let's say I earn 11. Right now it's 11 pounds per hour. It's about 2,000 shillings a month.
Yeah.
I mean, in an
2,000
hour.
pounds. Yeah.
An hour.
Yeah.
1 hour.
Yeah.
So if you work for 12 hours, you have earned your 24,000.
Yeah.
Easy. So if you work for 5 days, that's 120,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that convert to your bills?
It depends, because in the UK we don't pay for healthcare, and in the UK we don't pay for education.
So your kids,
So I only pay for rent.
your Jadens are studying for free there.
Free. They're very for free. These youngsters here, they are studying for free.
They're going to school for free.
Yeah.
When they're sick, they go get help.
They
for
get
free.
help for
Healthcare
free.
Yeah.
So I only work basically for rent and for bills, electricity bills,
and the licenses.
And the licenses. Yeah, but if you're two of you, especially in my case,
Yeah.
one person's money can clear that.
But what I even get a lot with people who are in abroad, they talk about when you finally leave the country, and I'm glad you had a culture with your wife here. When you finally leave there, the theory of the single income household seems to be out of the door.
Yeah, for instance,
For example, like for you now, you are working, but already you're ready to pay the bills. So your wife went into job. Yeah. But in most cases, I hear that your wife cannot be a stay-at-home wife.
cannot be. Cannot be. Even if she wants to be.
Yeah.
Even if you want her to be, she cannot be. The circumstances, the expenses, the environment will force her to stand up of her seat, or you to
And get
out and go look for work. Because the bills are coming. Let's say, for example, I live in a very affordable part. Preston is a very affordable.
Yeah.
It's out slightly. I like it because slightly outside Manchester.
But you still can access
But I can access Manchester. I can access Liverpool. I can access Burnley. Big
Nice.
cities. I can access those ones.
Yeah.
I can go to Leeds in a very quick way. So you see. So I like Preston.
Yes.
And still within that, we pay about 700 pounds, 750 pounds a month on my rent for a 3-bedroom house. Not too posh, but okay house.
Yeah.
An okay house. And after that, I pay my electricity bill around 200 per month, 200 pounds per month. So again, if I come with TV and internet, the package, because I watch a lot of football and all that, I pay another 150 pounds.
Yeah.
For full package
full
of
package.
TV, sports, in
the
movies,
the sport package and the
and
movies.
including internet,
150.
150. So that brings it to about, let's say, 1,200. And then now you have to pay for council tax. I don't pay for council tax. I'm a student.
Yeah.
There's something called council tax, which you have to pay if you're not a student.
Yeah.
So those are the things you pay for. So basically, if you live in a place like Preston, with a family in a 3-bedroom house,
Yes.
Before food, if you add food, if you add clothing, probably 1,600
Should cover you.
should cover you, but you'll not save anything.
No savings, but your family thinks you are abroad.
Sorted. Now, if you're single, and live in such a house, a single mother,
Yes.
that's your life. hand to mouth.
Wow.
But if you are a family now, for my case, it's
Yes.
better because if you clear madam's salary,
Yes.
then I can save all mine.
And now you have something in the
No,
pocket.
yeah. So if you use all the 2,000 for madam, let's say as an example,
Yes.
and I have my also 2,000.
Uh-huh.
2,000 is quite something when I save it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of
2,000
money.
pounds.
2,000 pounds.
That's
That's
about 300
about
something
300K
per
per
month.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's workable money. It's savable money.
workable money.
Mhm.
Keep your expectations
Low.
within standard. Know you are a foreigner. You are not British.
Mhm.
Know that.
So basically, as I'm hearing, you left a 600,000 job, yeah,
Mm.
bonus job,
Mhm.
and now you have to work, both of you, for 300,000 a month.
Yeah.
What is the motivation?
I knew my nature.
Yeah.
That if I get my MBA,
Yes.
I will probably jump to something
Yeah.
bigger in the UK.
Yes.
I did not know what it was.
Yeah.
But I just felt it.
Now you finish your 2 years in
Yeah.
your MBA.
Mhm.
What happens?
Before I finish my 2 years, I get lucky to get a teaching job in a college.
No, that's better. From caregiving, now you're a
now
tutor now.
I'm become a tutor in some college.
Uh-huh.
College in the middle of Manchester somewhere,
Uh-huh.
teaching people some very basic things. They were like certificate,
Yeah.
diploma level.
Mhm.
Teaching them business, and they were very happy with my teaching.
Mhm.
They could give me, they employed me there. They could pay me 2,200
Uh-huh.
per month.
Yeah.
So after tax, it was coming to around 1,700 pounds.
Yeah.
But,
So that's the only rent and
but-
bills covered.
brand and bill covered. So madam, we can save one.
Yeah.
But it was good for me because I was building my profile.
Yeah, as a teacher
That was a
too.
very important thing for me
Yes.
because I had gone into a line where there was progression. What is
Yeah.
progression? There's no progression in Amazon warehousing.
Yeah.
There's no progression.
You'll never be a manager there.
You'll never be manager there. But at least if I go into academia, I can
Yeah.
jump from university, be something. and
Yes.
everything. So I
You
got
get
my
yourself to
first
be a
job
lecturer. Yeah.
in a college in
As a
Manchester
tutor.
as a tutor,
Mhm.
business and management tutor,
Uh-huh.
teaching.
How
people.
many classes were you taking a week?
I was teaching probably because I was still a student then.
Yeah.
I was teaching about 15 hours. a
15
week.
hours.
A
15
week.
hour
So it
week.
will come
Yeah.
for 1.5 days,
Nice.
and they were flexible.
All this, you're doing only two days and you're getting 2,200.
And I was getting no. That was 2,200, but it was prorated,
Yeah.
and then I could do some overtime somewhere,
Yeah.
and then I could reach that amount.
So yeah, so 2,200 still for that overtime and all that,
Mm.
but you still have an extra time to pick an extra job.
I could get some extra time to pick an extra job.
Yeah, and do they have like a cap for students, for
They
example?
cap for students 20 hours.
20 hours. So
Yeah.
with you at 15, you
Mhm.
could still continue with your MBA
I could continue with my MBA.
and still gain experience.
And
Is this
still gain
experience
experience.
gonna go to your CV, or is it gonna be like in
Absolutely.
Kenya? Like in Kenya, you can't put your CV before the graduation.
No. I could put this in my CV. I'm doing my MBA and I'm teaching.
So that's also
And
a plus.
that is the only thing I needed to do.
Uh-huh.
3 months later,
Yeah.
now established universities started calling me.
Uko wanakupigia simu.
Walinipigia, niko na profile mzuri.
What do
niko
you
na-
do? LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
Then I could also place my application with the recruitment agencies.
Uh-huh.
So they started calling me, Dennis, we've seen your profile, we really like it. Can you send us with your updated CV?
Oh, yeah.
I could see the CV. All right. We're giving you a job.
Wow.
Okay, this job is 0-hour contract.
Wow.
0-hour contract is an interesting concept in the UK.
Yeah.
It's a situation where you are not guaranteed any hours.
Yes.
You're not guaranteed any hours, but you can be given job as is available.
So you are not guaranteed of any like 15 hours a week, but if the job is available, you work.
The only good thing, they say 0, but the job is always available.
Oh. So
It's always available.
it's more paying than the college job.
Yeah, now I'm being told I'm going to be paid £45 an hour.
Wow. But there's a 0-hour policy
That
as
is
well.
a 0-hour policy.
But every time you show up at that hour, 45.
45 for an hour.
From 11.
No, so from 11, £40.
Wow.
£10. So they
That
gave
was
me
good.
the job.
Yeah.
And I could make £45 an hour. Let's say at one point, if you do at 160, that's about 7,200 shillings
Yeah.
an hour.
7K per hour.
7K an hour. And
My
that
guy.
was, they were giving me block of 8 hours a day.
My guy.
So 8 hours a day,
Uh-huh.
they could pay me about 60,000 for the day.
Wow.
For the day.
Mhm.
And I could teach maybe I left that and I continued teaching for 20 hours max. So 2 days.
Wow.
2 days. So I could make my money easily, 120,000 a week for teaching 2 days in a
Jesus.
private university.
In a private campus.
In a private campus. Then The more I put this, the more universities noted me. Then one big university, private university, noted.
Yeah.
And they called me. I'd been applying to that university. Every time they declined,
Yeah.
they called me. They say, if you think you're proper, you send us your video of you teaching about the subject. And they did a video of me teaching about the subject. Go to very strong references.
Yeah.
And they gave me a job. Now I moved from that job. I kept it still.
Yeah.
As a zero, because it's 0 hour. You don't have to resign.
Yes.
Just say, this semester I'm not available for teaching.
Uh-huh.
So I went to another job. Now they tell me, we can pay you 65
What? From 45
From
to
11
from
to
11 to
45
45
to
to 65.
Yeah.
All in a year.
All in about a year. Yeah. But this no, this is after now I had finished campus. That's when I got the 65 pounds.
That's
an hour
2023
job.
now.
Yeah. It's a private university,
Uh-huh.
the best paying in the country.
In the
right now.
country.
I think I've only seen one university probably paying something closer or similar.
Yeah.
University.
Mhm.
So that's how I moved in and I started teaching.
Mhm.
And teaching and then
Same house now, or you
I've never changed my lifestyle in the UK. I live like a very bare minimum. If you come to see my house, it's a very basic house.
Uh-huh.
I live a very basic life.
Uh-huh.
I put my everything in Kenya.
That is
I
so.
try to-
So I also have this question because I have people who are watching and listening to this, and they are abroad or they are planning to move abroad. Money, put it in Kenya or abroad.
It depends. It depends with what you want. But my advice is always when you step to the UK, and I've always told people,
Yeah.
UK, Canada, when you go abroad,
Yeah.
the moment you step into a foreign country
Yes.
is the exact moment you should start planning your way back home.
Planning your way back home.
Immediately. You'll not 2 months later,
Yeah.
not 3 months later. The day you step in.
Move back. Plan how
Please
to move back home.
start thinking, how am I moving back to Kenya?
Yeah.
And this is what makes a difference.
Mhm.
People have stayed there for 20 years. Someone understood, hey,
No.
I don't have a house in Kenya.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a house. I don't have a piece of land.
Yeah.
All my friends disappeared. They moved on with their lives.
Mhm.
What do I do? People panic. And you will see people coming to this country without anything to show of it.
Yeah.
Anything to show of it. Because you reach there, you say, Niko Maju, I'm abroad. Now you live.
You
as
start
a
sending
foreigner.
money home.
You start sending money home. You just eating good life,
Yeah.
poshing there
Mhm.
without living. But what I think I did, and I thank God I did,
Yeah.
was to think, how am I going back to Kenya?
Your fallback
Immediately.
plan. Your fallback home.
Yes.
Mhm.
So when I got these jobs, I started sending back money to Kenya.
Mhm.
I bought several pieces of land
Yeah.
in Kenya.
Mhm.
I bought this house
Yeah.
where we are now.
Yes.
In a span of 4 years, and throughout my period up to now, I've been a student.
You have, I'm looking at you.
So, yeah.
I don't think I'm on camera right now, but I'm looking at you right now. And I'm wondering,
Mhm.
for 4 years,
Mm.
and we are in a very beautiful house, fully furnished.
Mm.
And the one secret is staying modest and spending at home.
Stay modest. Look for jobs that pay you far away from minimum wage. Maximize your income.
Yeah.
I go to my certifications. If you look at my profile, you see all my certifications
Uh-huh.
that I have, which really helped me in my careers.
Yeah.
So and I thought about home. I thought about Kenya.
Yeah.
So that is how I started doing things like I bought pieces of land.
Yeah.
Acres of land in Bondo, in Kisumu.
Mhm.
I bought this house.
Yeah.
I brought my sister to the UK to study.
Yeah.
I did so many other things
Uh-huh.
because I was thinking home, and then I did my small investments back
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
because I knew I was getting money.
Yeah.
Because if you can teach for £65 an hour,
Yeah.
and I was teaching up to 24 hours,
That is about
Up
more
to
than
24 hours.
1,300
that is about 1,560,
per week.
£1,560 every week.
Oh my God!
Every
From getting 2,000 per week.
Yeah. So if I do so if I do that for
Yeah.
a month, I have
Yeah.
got my cool 6,000.
See,
And I could do that.
you're above very many people
Of
at
course.
this moment.
So I could be given sometimes a semester, 2 semesters guaranteed
Yeah.
of teaching like that. I could
Wow.
teach. Why can't I do the things I'm supposed to do?
Mhm.
Yeah, and
So
I live modest
you
in the
live
UK.
modestly.
Madam is still working.
All right.
Yeah, and Madam is still working.
She got into teaching, or she found another field.
Madam got into healthcare, and then
Now she's a nurse.
she got in as a healthcare assistant.
Yeah.
Then she moved to a senior carer.
Yeah.
Now she's transitioning into nursing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I have a thing that I've seen with many ladies that go abroad. they switch into nursing. Is it the most advisable job to do as a person living in the UK?
I think it has got a lot to do with employer. The NHS, the main is like Ministry of Health, the health provider, the government health provider. They are flexible in terms of working. They're very friendly in terms of working. And nursing is one of those careers where employment is guaranteed.
You are sure to get money.
A job first.
Hey,
you're assured of getting a job.
Money will come.
There's no other thing you can be assured. Very few things you can be assured of getting a job in the UK. Not even teaching, nothing.
So teaching you is just hapa cool.
Unaweza pata unaweza kosa. But huwezi niambia umegraduate umekosa kazi nursing.
Nursing ukianguka unaingia direct.
People in their final year wako na barua kwa mkono, wewe unaenda hospitali fulani, unaenda hospitali fulani, unaenda hospitali fulani. They know. So why do you want to hustle in a foreign country?
Hey, so that's why, because I've also seen some of my relatives getting into nursing. So I'm like, this must be something. So I like this journey, and up until now, because you're telling me about 2024, and it is actually an amazing house that you have here. What is the plan moving forward now that are you planning to go PhD?
No, I am already doing my PhD. So I finished my
masters.
I finished my masters, which of course I smashed with a distinction.
Yeah.
With a distinction in all modules, if I must say. I got a distinction. Yes. With a distinction in all the modules. I was top of my class of 404 people, 404 students.
You went to study.
I was only the one out of the 2 distinction students in the entire MBA class.
Hey.
I'm sorry to say.
Hey, you forgot for a minute.
I forgot for a minute. You must put that on record.
You had to remind us.
I must remind you. So that's when I finished my MBA. I continued teaching.
Yeah,
and then I started applying for PhD. So I started applying for PhD scholarships. Yeah. Although when you finish your masters, you can quickly go into
you can go to school.
Study visa.
Yeah,
and you can stay there to work. But I did not want that. I wanted to go straight to my PhD.
Yes.
So I got a PhD offer in 3 universities.
They wanted you to go there.
All of them wanted me to go, and all of them were giving me scholarships.
Full scholarships?
Full. And full scholarship means we're paying all your fee,
which
is about £25,000 a year.
Wow.
For the entire PhD is 100,000.
That's £100,000. Yeah.
We are giving you money. We're giving you about 1,600 per month untaxed for your upkeep.
That is part of the full sponsorship.
That's part of the sponsorship. When the rate was good, that was 320,000 shillings every month untaxed.
Hey,
please be comfortable. Please be comfortable.
And all this time you're still working in that university.
I'm still working.
My brother, that is why you bought this house.
Jackpot. And it was still a lot of work. So I got these 3 scholarships: Lancaster, I got in Liverpool, and I think I got in another university, not Cumbria, Nottingham.
Yeah.
But I looked at all these 3 options.
Yeah.
And there were preconditions to each of them, but I chose Liverpool.
Yeah.
I chose the University of Liverpool. So I went to Liverpool University, where I was doing my PhD. I'm now doing my PhD.
Yeah.
And fully funded, fully paid for, everything done.
How long will it take?
These big universities, it takes longer to finish a PhD, and I'll tell you one day the reason why.
Yeah.
So it takes me 4 years.
We'll sit down on that. It will take you 4 years.
4 years.
You're probably gonna write something as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to have a couple of citations and all that.
Of course, you have to do publication. This is what makes you highly unlikely to graduate quickly in top universities like Liverpool, Oxford, because yes, in all universities probably you need to publish something, especially papers. But now in top universities like Liverpool, you have to publish, but you only have to publish in top journals. Top international.
And getting in those top journals is hard.
Very hard. Some of them have got an acceptance rate of below 10%.
Wow. So you writing and you getting published is 2 different things.
2 different things. In another university, they'll tell them you just publish anything. In a 3-tier university, a journal, which I can do. This week I can write a paper, submit, and I could publish. But this top university, no, it's not good enough. Not good enough. So
they tell you 4 years, you're going to be in school for 4 years now.
Yeah.
After 4 years, you become a doctor. Dr. Dennis.
Yeah.
Plans of you being a doctor, I know, are already underway. Are you planning to stick in this field of being a teacher, or you're planning to find a better way out?
I'll leave teaching.
Do you like
I think
teaching?
so.
That
I
is the
love
question
it.
I want
I
to
absolutely love it, especially when I teach international students.
Yes.
I absolutely love it. So I'd probably leave teaching and I'll go into industry.
Yeah.
Probably in another country, probably in Australia, in Canada.
Yeah.
And I'll go into some corporate job.
Corporate
Maybe
jobs.
or in consultancy.
Yeah.
Proper consulting company.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so and maybe if you guys are nice enough, you can give me a PS maybe. Because I don't know. Umeiva kuwa PS hapa.
Tukulete nyumbani.
Jeshi angalie mambo ninaendeleaje vizuri hapa.
Yeah.
I might decide to come back home.
So you don't have a permanent plan for UK? You don't like UK?
I do like UK. As I told you, everyone goes in and plans a way out.
And now, as you're planning your way out, I think 2 weeks ago there was riots in the UK.
Yeah.
And there was this guy called Ali. He was dropped by a cab, and then he refuses to pay cab. He runs into a house, into a training area where ladies were doing dance. He stabs dead 2 ladies and the kids. Yeah, and that sparks anti-immigration. Yeah, anti-immigration laws. Now, before that, the UK had also changed some rules in terms of moving with your spouse.
Yeah.
And you had moved with your spouse, but some people are now not told not to move with their spouses.
Absolutely.
Starting 2024 or 2025.
2024 January.
24 January. So you are not able to move with your spouses now. There is all these new raft of changes. The commoners, is it not the commoners? Conservatives are now not in the seat. How does that look for immigrants there?
Again, it comes back to my point. However comfortable you are, a foreign country is not your home.
Always remember that.
Always just remember that. The moment you step in is the moment you should start planning your way out.
And what is the worst that can happen right now?
What can happen is that we can have probably a more intense anti-immigration sentiment.
Yeah.
Because we have been having an anti-immigrant sentiment for a long time. In the UK, in Europe generally.
Yeah.
And the far right have been trying a lot to push this agenda
of
all the immigrants are taking our jobs, the immigrants are clogging our healthcare sector, our immigrants are clogging our schools, all those kind of things. So when these things happen where someone attacks children and all that, people are deranged, people can do anything.
Sure.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
And this now sparks out the riots that we see.
Yeah.
And it reminds you
you're
that
not
sometimes
home.
we are too comfortable
Yeah,
in
sure.
a place that's not home.
Yeah.
So it's a wake-up call to everyone living in a foreign country.
Yeah. To just plan
East
out.
or west, home is the best. Get a property, get a home, make sure you have a fallback plan. Yes, be in the UK for money and for whatever.
Yeah.
Love your country, love the country you live in, respect the culture they have.
Yeah.
But home will always be home.
So that is what I was thinking earlier on when I looked at it like that. And I was wondering, now that you're saying always plan your way home and all that, in the eventuality you find yourself in Kenya. I worked in a university for an internship, and one of the core values of the university is research, community outreach, education, but basically research. And right now I was speaking to university professors from a university here who was saying universities have now turned into teaching institutions instead of research. What would you say? Because you've gone to top universities now. What would you compare and what would you advise in terms of this?
Universities are for scholarship, and I support both. We cannot say it's not for teaching. We go there to be taught.
Yeah, sure.
But those are also foundational research institutions. I think the problem we have had a lot in Kenya is that we have completely destroyed our universities. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Done.
Politics have destroyed. If you go to a country like UK, and I always tell my friends this, go to UK, for example.
Yeah.
Go to US. You see how academics, top professors influence politics. This is look at climate change in the UK debates. The way they are moved by scientists. Look at other things, the way they are moved by professionals. But in Kenya, it's the opposite. It's the politics that influences academia in Kenya. It's about who is in what seat, who benefits, who does what.
Even the VCs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even the appointment is extremely political.
Yeah.
So this is what damages this country. But again, we should rethink because the kind of people we manufacture the next generation
yeah.
from the universities that we have.
Yeah.
So we really have to have these people ready to face the challenges of the future.
Yeah.
Again, I say university is a concept, not a place. And
Yeah.
you've heard me say that again.
Yeah.
It's a concept. University is not building. Look at KU. KU, my former university, for example.
Yeah.
Posh gets
Very big buildings.
posh buildings. As an industrial chemistry student, I go to the lab, no chemicals.
No
I
reagents.
only went for one trip throughout my industrial chemistry
Wow.
teaching training
experience.
in university.
Yes.
Only one. And that was in Mombasa once. And that it was a day. And yet I have posh buildings. What is it for? Because
Big
people
gates.
think universities are a place.
And is it
So
true that in your
posh.
place in UK there are no gates in
No
universities?
gates. No gates, my friend. No gates.
What is the
No
obsession with our people with 15 million gates then?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Maybe UK is more secure than Kenya. I don't know. but
We have seen the riots.
Yeah, but I told you, my professor told me, university is a concept.
Yeah.
And it is there for the community. Open it to the community.
Yeah, sure.
My kids who are now 11,
Yeah.
every year they visit universities. They are told, they're invited by the
Nice.
university to come see our science department, come see our arts and history department. They go to the building, they know this is a university, this is a professor. They ask, Professor, what do you do?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a professor? There are people in this country who are maybe even 40 that have never stepped into a university compound.
Our
What
trips-
happens here?
Our trips are to Uhuru Park.
Uhuru Park.
Yeah. I came to Uhuru Park.
Yeah.
I was shown JKIA,
Yeah.
Thika Sewerage Company, Mombasa Cement.
Probably important, but really for an adult, if you want that
you never
culture-
remember anything after that.
Exactly. You have to be more open
Yeah.
to people, to children, knowing the concept of a university.
Yeah.
What does it entail? What does it mean to be in a university? What does a university do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all that should change, honestly.
I think that is something that brings me to my very last question as we coming to the tail end of this conversation.
Yeah.
The government, through the president, has been moving around looking for jobs for people abroad.
Yeah.
And through that, there are some challenges that come with it. I'd like to know, maybe you could give me like 2 or 3 reasons why someone should move abroad and 2 or 3 reasons why they should consider not moving abroad.
I think it's there's no one size that fits all.
Yeah.
There's many reasons of moving abroad if you want to move abroad. First is the opportunities there are real.
Yeah.
To a big extent. If you put in the hard work, you get the opportunities.
Yeah.
Again, if you work, you see the money.
Nice.
That's another thing. So yes, I work so hard. Yes, I work many hours. But on Friday or
happy.
or on 30th, if I look at my account, I see the money.
You see the
see
fruits of the money.
And the person who works for 20 hours versus the person who works for 50 hours,
Yes.
the day and night difference. I can see it.
You can see the difference.
I worked in Kenya for about 10 years.
Yes.
I went to the UK in 4 years as a student. I've been able to buy my house. I've been able to buy pieces of land. I've been able to bring my sister to study. I've been able
Honestly.
to bring my families abroad.
Yeah.
That, of course, for me, and I am very cautious not to speak from a position of privilege because maybe my story is not everyone's story.
Yes.
It tells me that there are opportunities.
And you know, when I came to meet you, and I thought when you told me you came from the UK, and I saw this house, I was like, I'm talking to someone who has been in the UK for 10 to 15 years.
Everyone is shocked.
When you tell me 4 years, I'm like, wow.
I've been 4 years in the UK, and I've always been a student throughout. I was a master's student, now a PhD student. I've always been a student.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
man.
so but a lot of sacrifices have been done along the way.
Yeah.
A lot of heavy sacrifices have to be done along the way. So there are those reasons, and again, things work.
Yeah, sure.
If you say things work abroad, things work.
They really do.
The first day my kids came this time, my daughter was very young when she was leaving. It was about 2 years when she came into UK. She came back after 3.5 years, and for the first time, it was blackout.
And she was shocked.
And to think that what happened.
She has never seen a blackout.
I told her, yeah, there is a blackout. I said, what does it mean? She told me electricity goes. I said, okay, bring it back. Why can't you bring it back? So that we continue watching our TV.
Oh my
They
God.
don't know the concept of something called blackout. Water runs 24/7. Electricity is 24/7. No matter what,
Wow.
the electricity will be there.
Wow.
Roads will be there. You know?
Yeah.
things are a bit orderly.
Yeah.
I'll be in traffic. No police officer
Yeah.
to tell you, oh, now move, now stop, now move.
Yeah.
No, things will work. Everything
Wow.
will be in order.
Wow.
System is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Schools are there.
Yeah.
You understand? The
Mhm.
healthcare, I'll go to the hospital. If I have cancer, I don't care. My only big worry is I get to the hospital, I'm treated.
That is it.
So those are some of the reasons why I should go abroad. There are reasons why maybe you cannot go abroad. Social life.
Lack of social life.
Lack of social life can be abroad. And then abroad can refuse you. Inaweza kukata.
Inakukata aje.
Unaweza enda abroad. You can go abroad and two of you and it just rejects you.
Nothing
It
personal.
just rejects you. Nothing personal. You just did everything you should have done.
Yeah.
You did everything properly. But it just refused. It has got nothing to do with you. You're not lazy. You're not everything. It just refuses you. So people have got stories here and stories here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
some people. That's why people will swear, I will never go abroad ever again.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Someone will say, hey, what do you mean? I'm going
back
to Kenya.
Yeah, I heard people who came to Kenya, tried 2 years, went back.
Exactly. So that tells you people have personal stories.
Yeah.
There's privilege in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are things work.
Yeah.
So you should not assume everyone's things will
Everything.
work.
Yeah.
But overall, that's the truth. Again, circumstance.
Yeah.
Are you going there as an individual?
Yeah.
Are you going there with family? That's
Yeah.
a bit different stories. Again, are you going with a wife where you can combine your pay together, or are you going there alone?
Yeah.
Can change your story.
Which is better? Moving
Go
with your
there
person or
go there with a lady, with your wife, or your partner, whichever.
yeah.
That's very important because again, you save. As I told you, Madam's salary can disappear in the oblivion of bills.
Wherever you care, but yours you have money for the rest of the things.
The rest, and then yours can do other things in Kenya and others.
Yeah. So if you go there alone, you'll kind of find it hard to start.
You might find it hard, especially again where are you living?
Yeah.
If you, let's say you live in the south of England, which is expensive.
Yeah,
Brighton,
London.
for example,
Yeah.
London, and your bills comes to 2,000, and you are earning 2,000.
So you're basically working for your bills.
That's it. Your friends in Kenya keep progressing. You come back, you feel frustrated. Oh, I left these guys. Oh, then, but I go to Liverpool, I go to Manchester, I go to Preston.
Yeah.
My bills are a quarter of your bills.
Oh my God. So I don't know many people want to move to London.
It's like telling someone here where toka Nairobi and they Webuye. Ama Shavakali. Wewe unaona aje boyfriend? The guy is suffering in
Shavakali.
In Embakasi.
Yeah.
Lakini haizi enda Shavakali.
Haizi enda Shavakali.
Ati anaambiwa Shavakali nyumba ni 2,000. Enda Shavakali.
Na bakolo utapata nyumba pale. So like in London you get like the bills are like 4 times what you pay.
Exactly.
8,000.
Yes, so unakuja hapa apartment ni 15,000, unaambia kuja nyumbani 2,000 ulipe utaki.
Wow.
Yeah.
Na hiyo pesa ya London, does it come out in the same way ama
It's slightly different, but it ends into nothing.
You'll feel the work.
It is nothing. Yeah, kuna kwanga London pay, which is slightly higher.
Yeah.
But it's nothing. So that's why we are having a mass immigration of people now. Okay, especially British people.
Yes.
Moving from London to the north of England. So wanakuja Leeds, wanakuja Liverpool. Mtu anasema I'm done with London.
London is the millionaires in London.
Yeah, the millionaires. Because you will be working for the same. You earn 2,000, you spend 2,000.
So I took save 200.
200. Na mimi nakaa huko Preston.
Yeah.
Na
una save 2,000.
2,000. Bibi na 2,000, tuna save 2,000.
So if you're working in London, mama anapata 4, unapata 4 yote inaisha.
Isha. So nyumba huko kama 3 bedroom unaweza pata maybe at 2,400.
Hapo bila bills.
Mimi 3 bedroom huko nalipa 700 pounds.
It's also the choice of
it's a choice of location. London. So
it's a choice of location.
So many, and this is what I always tell people, even in going to study abroad.
Yeah.
These are the things that matter when you have an agent. Do they tell you the whole story?
No, they tell you to go and ask for
ukishalipa ameshapata commission yake. They don't advise you where you should stay.
Yeah.
They don't advise you what you should do. They don't advise you what to expect.
Yeah.
They don't tell you about guarantors. They don't tell you about cost of living in cities.
Yeah.
Because some of them have never been there.
No, most of them.
Most of them have never been there.
Most of them, they just send people.
And most of them are paid commission.
Yeah.
So if you give me commission, I'll take
I'll
you to UK very quickly. It's easy to take you to the UK.
Yeah.
But once you land there, I switch off my phone. Bye-bye. You deal with the issue.
And now you find out. It's a very sad thing to do. So it has been a very great conversation with you, of course, getting to learn your journey and of course your teaching journey. Wish you all the best in your PhD, hoping if the Earth allows us, we will invite you to our studios and talk about your PhD journey in 2 years from now.
Absolutely. I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. And
thank
as I
you.
promised you,
Yes.
I will contribute in a way
Thank
in
you.
buying you some
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah.
And I call upon every other person who can, because this is how talents grow. And
Sure.
you'll see even the big medias in the UK, the big things.
Yeah.
It's about people crowdfunding.
Yeah.
People saying, I can see a talent here.
Let me support. Yeah.
That's social.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, and also for identifying me. And of course, the thing here is, most of the listeners that are listening to me on the spaces, they don't have that time to share with me like this. Most of them, when they come to Kenya, they get crowded with family. They remember Kenya, our Pipi is there when they are away. So thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me this time. And of course, we'd like to let people to keep on subscribing to the Journey series. We're hoping to get more people. And also, if you want to share your story, this is the place to share your story. So thank you so much, Deno.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your journey.
Thanks.
What do you want to tell them as your final words?
No, you keep grinding. Everyone else got their stories.
Yes.
You just have to believe and stay in there long enough.
All right.
Other than that, be nice to everybody, and hopefully everyone will be nice to you too.
Thank you so much for that. Anyway, goodbye, guys. See you next time. Bye.